Okay. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Colton Joint Unified School District Board of Education board meeting this afternoon on February 20th. It's already February 20th. We'll call this meeting to order and we'll start the meeting as we do each meeting with a roll call of board members present. So Ms. Medina, if you'll please conduct our roll call.
Mr. Ibarra?
Present.
Mrs. Haro? Present. Mr. Fuentes?
Present.
Mrs. Flores?
Present.
Mr. Flores?
Present.
Thank you.
Right. And we will just make a note of the absence of Board Member Thorin Ojeda and Board Member Sandoval. So, we do have interpretive services available tonight for anybody that may need Spanish language interpretation. We have with us tonight Ms. Cynthia Bueno, who can provide those translation interpretive services.
Thank you, Board President Flores. Good evening. Muy buenas noches a todos. Yo soy Cintia Bueno, soy recepcionista y traductora del distrito. Esta noche estaremos ofreciendo servicios de intérprete. Si alguien desea escuchar la reunión completamente en español, puede encontrarme en la mesa trasera a la entrada de la puerta, donde podrán adquirir uno de estos dispositivos y podrán escuchar la reunión completamente en español simultáneamente. Gracias.
Thank you for that, Mrs. Bueno. We will do conduct our Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight I've asked Dr. Mooney if you would please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you'll please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Mooney. Okay, our first item on the agenda tonight for the board to take action on is item 1.3, our adoption of the agenda. We do have some requested amendments from staff. The first one is amending closed session item 9.4, personnel public employee. This is our appointment discipline dismissal release item to add a classified head coach. This is head junior varsity baseball boys. 4 volunteer coaches include band, baseball, 2 for boys, and then track co-ed, as well as 25 volunteers, of which 23 are general and 2 are classroom observation volunteers. Are there any other requested amendments to the agenda, Dr. Miranda?
Do not have any.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the amendments to the agenda?
I'll move. Second. I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have Board Member Haro with the motion, Board Member Fuentes with the second to amend the agenda as requested by staff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposition? Hearing none, it is so ordered. Okay. Our next item is the school showcase, and tonight we have our student leaders from Slover Mountain High School. So I'm going to ask Principal Ferrejo if she wouldn't mind introducing our student leaders. Oh, they haven't arrived yet. Not a problem. Okay, we'll put a pin in that. No problem. They're en route. They've probably hit some traffic coming from, yes, as you all know, the 10 freeway. I'm sure they're sitting in traffic. So we'll put a pin in it. We'll come back to them. What we'll have to do next is public comment on the agenda. So we'll go ahead and jump into public comment, and we'll work through that. And then when our student leaders arrive, we'll go ahead and work them in. So we're going to go ahead and go to public comment at this time. We do have a fair number of public comment speaker slips. Just a reminder to all the speakers, the podium is here. If you wouldn't mind addressing the board with your questions or comments, it is a 3-minute limit per speaker. We do have to hold everybody to that 3-minute limit just to get through everybody. Know that we, as the board, cannot necessarily respond or engage in a conversation or a dialogue. That's per the Brown Act and government code, but trust that we certainly hear you. Dr. Miranda and his team, we take notes and we will follow up where appropriate. So there'll be a timer and a little bit of a buzzer once you hit the 3-minute mark, so that'll keep you on time. And again, we'll jump into it, starting with our first speaker, Ms. Margarita Juarez.
members of the board, we stand before you today not in anger but in deep concern for the future of our students. We are here to address the unjust decision to terminate Mr. Aaron Campbell, the beloved band and choir director of Colton High School, a decision that directly harms the students of this district. Mr. Campbell is more than just a teacher. He is a mentor and inspiration in the heart of our school music program. His dedication has built thriving band and choir programs, offering students not only to creative outlet, but also sense of belonging, discipline, and teamwork. The decision to remove him has caused widespread distress among students and parents alike, as you can see from the many gathered here today. This is not just an isolated concern, it is a community in crisis. We have gathered over 300 verified certifications for students, parents, community members in the strong support of Mr. Campbell. Yet this decision was made without consulting those most affected, our students. The sudden loss of such an influential educator creates a void that cannot easily be filled, on that threaten both of artistic and emotional well-being of our children. The impact of Mr. Campbell's leadership is undeniable. Under his guidance, students have excelled both musically and personally. Removing such dedicated mentor is not just unfair, it is detrimental to their success. In closing, the decision to terminate Mr. Aaron Campbell is a grave disservice to the students of Colton High School. We strongly believe that decision was made in error, and we respectfully urge the board to resign it and reinstate Mr. Campbell immediately. This is not just about one teacher, it's about the future of our children. Thank you for your time and consideration. We ask that you listen to the voices of the students and parents here today and make the right decision. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Juarez. Our next speaker is Genesis Rodela.
Good evening, Honorary Board of Education. My name is Genesis Rodella. I'm currently a senior at Colton High School, and I'm the drum major. And in my 4 years of being in band, I can confidently say that we have accomplished the most under the direction of Mr. Campbell. Campbell has helped many musicians grow and mature and has done everything he can for the CHS marching band. I fear that many of you don't understand what dismissing a band director does. It is not as simple as replacing a science or algebra teacher. Band directors usually have to take a whole year to plan for competitions, field shows, and parades. So having to constantly take a year off sets the band back a year behind everyone else. This decision is disappointing considering everything Mr. Campbell has done. The CHS marching band was in a sense 15 years behind every other band. We had no props, no modern uniforms, and even our marching techniques were considered outdated to other schools. It was honestly embarrassing, and this is simply because of the lack of resources we have compared to other schools. Our uniforms were in terrible conditions considering they were over 30 decades old. We were long overdue for uniforms, and Mr. Campbell has been the first to take care of that. Despite all these issues, Campbell's always found a way for there to be no disadvantage for us when competing against other schools. He has done everything in his power to help us improve, and we have. Dismissing Campbell unfortunately cancels all the plans that we had for next year in terms of taking first place, advancing in our musical level, etc. Overall, the decision that the Board of Education has chosen will impact the students, and I fear will be the end for the music department in CHS, considering many students have expressed that they will quit if Mr. Campbell is gone. Campbell currently has 333 signatures in the petition. If the Board of Education goes through with their decision, there will be no doubt anger amongst parents and students. I know that many people can attest to these good claims. Past student Juan Barone says, during a single year, Mr. Campbell was able to help him rapidly develop his skills from playing in the CHS marching band. Juan now plays for the UC Berkeley Wind Ensemble, and he constantly credits Mr. Campbell for this. With all this, I plead to the Board of Education to please reconsider their decision about Mr. Campbell's position here at Colton High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Genesis. Our next speaker is Ezekiel Izarrares.
Good evening. My name is Ezekiel Isaradas, and I'm currently a sophomore at Colton High School. For the year leading up to my first year in Colton High School, I believe that it would have been hard to adjust to the new wind ensemble, considering how there was going to be a new teacher and new classmates. However, during my time in wind ensemble, I have never enjoyed myself more than any other class with Mr. Campbell. He is one of the best teachers, if not the best, that I have ever had in my entire 10 years of being in school myself. I'm sure my peers can say the same. And he's done so much already in these past 2 years that he's been with us. He's made such a huge impact for all of us. And like previously stated, he fixed a lot of issues within the band itself. And our performances this year have exceeded all those previously, such as starting field shows again and winning some trophies. But we have been able to do a lot with Mr. Campbell, such as improving both our performance and social skills because of him, such as myself. With the aid of Mr. Campbell and another teacher, Mario, I was able to learn other lessons outside of music, such as how to line a field and prepare it for a show, and how to load a truck. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were antisocial during that time, but Mr. Campbell was able to get them out of their comfort zone and actually talk to more of their peers. So these 2 years alone, the entire band has been able to communicate very well with each other, and they have actually been able to get along better than the past years. I have never had as much fun and learned as much with any other teacher than with Mr. Campbell himself, because he's more than just a band teacher for us. He's been both a mentor and a role model for all of us. He's been encouraging us through tough times and aiding us when we were needing it. And all of that really wasn't necessary, but he did it because he shows that he's trying to care for us in a way. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ezekiel. We appreciate it. Our next speaker is Ms. Ava Diaz.
In Colton High School. Mr. Campbell has been a great addition to Colton High School. He came to the program as a seasoned professional at a time when we needed him most. The program was flailing and lost without direction. He has worked hard along with the students to rebuild the music program, which in the past couple of years has suffered with low student participation numbers and no stable director. He has made quite a good impact on the students as well as in the community. He knows how to take a challenge and how to encourage the students to grow and be better. He is always willing to work with the band and build the relationship between the community and the band. He has received acknowledgement from the community for the marching band's participation in community events, such as city parades, local business openings, and home sporting games, such as football and basketball, as well as the competitions the band has been involved in this year. He has big plans for the band, as well as the music program. We, as the students, have worked hard these past 2 years with Mr. Campbell, and we're excited for the future. We deserve to be given the opportunity to keep growing and succeeding and being able to keep Mr. Campbell as our band director. He will continue to help us grow and push us towards our goals. I know personally I was excited and looking forward to my senior year. Which proves the good nature and character of who he is, not only as our teacher, but as a mentor and a person. Mr. Campbell deserves the chance to stay and continue to grow the band and the music program and help it flourish into something great like the music program used to be. In such a short time, he has proven what a great band director he is, and we have come so far. He has helped us learn to be a team and to help communicate with each other to help us grow. I know personally the freshmen would want to keep going with Mr. Campbell as a band director instead of having a new band director, because me personally, I had 2 in just my 3 years, and I don't think it's fair that he's being let go so unjustly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ava. Our next speaker is Jeremy Navas.
Good evening. Dear members of the District Board, my name is Jeremy Tenorio Navas, a 12th grade student, former member of Cologar. I am here this evening to mention the importance that our teacher and band director represent for everyone. I speak for my classmates and band student who attend the 5 period of the school day, as well as the sentimental affection that we have for him. Band director Aaron Campbell is an exemplary teacher who has been supporting all the students who attend his class. I speak personally, knowing him as a charismatic teacher who has helped us continue to improve a lot with effort and dedication. Mr. Campbell has contributed correctly to the school standard, mentioning the victory in the past band competitions, allowing the school to give his recognition, mentioning his recognition with the student in 4 and the motivation of the on the part of the band director, Mr. Campbell. With this and what has been said, we hope that you take into consideration the decision that has been imposed on Mr. Campbell, insisting that he continue teaching at Colton High School. I can simply say that Mr. Campbell has been a teacher who has inspired us to follow the path of music and demonstrating of skill, time management, and most importantly, showing up. Without further ado, I hope that our opinion reached the district board and is heard and understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Just a quick note to the board, that was our 5th speaker, so that is the 15-minute mark on any single subject. However, as many of us know, we can opt as a board if we'd like to allow for the other speakers to speak on the subject. It does look like we've got, I think, 3 more, and they do appear to be students, and given that they're here, I think that would be appropriate to allow the students to continue to speak. So just by way of note, board policy does limit the overall subject to be discussed to 15 minutes. So we've hit that at 5 speakers, but since you're here and we certainly want to hear from the students, we're going to go ahead and continue. So that was just a point of order from our point, but I'm seeing nodding heads, so we'll continue. All right, our next speaker is Anesta Perez.
Good evening, Board of Education. My name is Anessa Perez, and I'm a senior here. And knowing him the past 2 years, Mr. Campbell, I have seen the work that he has put in to be able to make band the best. To me, band isn't just a program, it's a class where you feel welcomed by not only by your teacher, but by students. To me, it's more like a family. The teacher we had previously, he was different from Mr. Campbell. When Campbell came to band for the first time, I saw a teacher that cared for everyone. He became the teacher that we needed. Mr. Campbell had been nothing but supportive, kind, and caring for every single one of us. He does not deserve to be gone because not only that, he has a family at home. Even though he has had experience leaving schools, he doesn't deserve to be kicked out again. He belongs here at Colton. We have been nothing but kind and respectful to our teacher, Mr. Campbell. He has been nothing but respectful for every single one of us. Looking back now, you have no complaints about Mr. Campbell. And doing this, standing here to support Mr. Campbell is proof that we deeply care about him and nobody wants another band teacher. And we've heard, of course, from other students that he has been a mentor as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Anessa. Our next speaker is Diana Gutierrez. You'd like the other student to speak, okay. Just so we can continue with our students and allow them to have the opportunities. Jocelyn Lopez here, this next speaker. Jocelyn, please.
Good afternoon, school board. My name is Jocelyn Lopez, and I'm graduating this year. I had the honor to be band president, and I would like to take this opportunity to speak about Mr. Aaron Campbell, who has been tertiary support to me throughout this school year. Mr. Campbell has been more than just a band director to me. He has been a mentor and a source of inspiration. During my tough times, he was there to offer guidance and support. One of my most valuable lessons that I have learned from him is health issues should never be the reason I should give up, but instead they should motivate us to keep pushing forward. Even when Mr. Campbell wasn't feeling his best, he still showed up to guide us through competitions. This lesson really stuck to me because I also have health issues. Sometimes this makes me question whether I should continue my extracurriculums or schoolwork. Mr. Campbell has taught me to take a break. Taking a break is okay, but giving up is not. He encourages me to let my health challenges be the reason I strive to work harder and do better. Under Mr. Campbell's leadership, the Colton High School Marching Band has achieved remarkable success. It has been a decade since our band competed and brought back first place under his guidance. We managed to bring back first place twice. This achievement is a testimony to his dedication and hard work and positive impact he has in all of us. Thank you for your time, and thank Mr. Campbell for everything you have done for me and the band.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Our next speaker is it Kenny Diaz? Kaylin, I'm sorry. Kaylin.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty and fellow students, my name is Kaylee Diaz, and I stand before you today to talk about a man who has made a profound impact on my life and the lives of countless others. Mr. Aaron Campbell, our beloved band director, was wrongly released from his position, and we are here to tell you that this decision was not only unjust, but also a devastating loss for our school community. Mr. Campbell was more than just a teacher. He was a mentor, role model, and most importantly, a father figure to many of us. He saw potential in each and every one of us, and even when we didn't see it in ourselves. He pushed us to be our very best, to work hard, and to never give up on our dreams. Under Mr. Campbell's leadership, our band program flourished, and most importantly, we became a family. United by our love of music and our passion for excellence, Mr. Campbell's dedication, expertise, and enthusiasm inspired us to reach new heights, and we achieved greatness together. But Mr. Campbell's impact went far beyond the band room. He taught us valuable life skills such as discipline, teamwork, and perseverance. He showed us that with hard work and determination, we could overcome any obstacles and achieve our goals. Mr. Campbell's wrongful release is not only a loss for our school, but also for our community. He was a shining example of what it means to be a dedicated educator, a compassionate mentor, and a true leader. So I ask you, the Board of Education, please take into consideration of these students, as we have a lot to say, and we will miss our Campbell. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee. Appreciate that. And then I have Diana Gutierrez. Is she here?
Good evening. My name is Diana Gutierrez. Members of the board, we have heard powerful testimonies today, stories from students whose lives have transformed by Mr. Campbell's dedication, from parents who have watched their children thrive under the guidance and form community members who recognize the individual role he plays at Colton High School. Each of these voices, along with the 300 plus individuals who signed our petition, affirms a single, undeniable truth. Mr. Aaron Campbell is irreplaceable. He does more than teach music. He fosters character, discipline, and a deep sense of belonging. His impact extends far beyond the band and choir room, shaping students into confident, capable individuals with skills that last a lifetime. The stories shared today are not just incidents. There are evidence of profound difference one educator can make. Mr. Campbell has built an environment where students feel seen, valued, and empowered to reach their full potential. His absence is not just a loss, it is a setback to their growth. The decision to terminate Mr. Campbell has caused unnecessary disruption and heartbreak. We have heard about the emotional toll on students, the uncertainty for families, and the deep sense of loss within our community. We have seen it in their faces. We have felt it in their voices. We understand the Board of Education must make difficult choices, but this is not about budget cuts or reconstructing. This is about investing in our children's future. It is about recognizing and retaining a teacher who goes above and beyond, one who has poured his heart into the program and these students. We urge you, rescind the decision to terminate Mr. Campbell, reinstate him immediately. This is not just about saving a job. It is about protecting the heart and soul of our music programs, and most importantly, preserving the well-being and educational opportunities of our students. We trust that you will listen to this overwhelming call from the community and make the right choice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Gutierrez. Our next speaker is Alicia Hester Eatman.
I'm the mom of a senior at Grand Terrace High School. Sorry. There's a huge concern going on among a lot of us parents within the district. I'm a member of different committees, and my son's on the wrestling team, and I try and be involved in the community as much as I can. And tonight I'm speaking on behalf of our immigrant families because, as far as I could tell, I have 3 kids in 3 different school districts. My other 2 kids, on their district websites, it says very clearly what protocol each school is to use in the event there is an ICE visit to their schools. And I've not found one on the Colton website, nor has any other parent. We've looked extensively. So if there is one, that'd be phenomenal. We'd really like to know. And if there's not, we need one now, because this is a huge pressing issue that's really, really got a lot of people scared. It's your responsibility. This is a commitment that you made when you ran for office, and you guys were all elected officials. And we're counting on you guys to protect our kids because we can't do it alone. Although there are some of us who are willing to stand outside the school if we have to and take shifts, but it's also imperative that our kids know what their rights are, their constitutional rights. Like, for example, they don't have to answer any questions that are addressed to them by ICE agents. They do not need to respond to anything. And it's your It's your responsibility to protect our students when we can't. That's part of a big part of what your job is. So I really urge you guys to do this, because the next step is for us to not have our kids go to school, because that's the only way we can make sure that they're protected. And given the amount of English language learners within the school district, that's 18.5% of the entire school district. That's over 3,000 students, which would cost $143,000 per day if every single one of those kids decided it was safe, or parents decided it was safer for their kids to remain home. That would cost you guys, or prevent about $1.5 million every 2 weeks from being available for the school. So I really want you, if that's the only way you can look at it is financially, go ahead and crunch those numbers and see if there's something you guys can do like yesterday about this, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hester-Eatman. And there is actually a policy in place. We'll have Dr. Ortiz connect with you to share that information. Our next speaker is Ms. Lisa Villa.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Villa, and I reside in Colton. I know you were probably upset that I was unable to attend the last school board meeting, but I did listen to it online and I found it disheartening at how concerned you portrayed yourselves with the public comment speakers that spoke that evening. You reassured them that you were concerned and gave them positive feedback. Never once in all the years I've been coming have you been concerned for the facts that I bring to you. It's unprofessional, and it's clear that my facts don't even faze you. At this point, I'm only here for documentation purposes in case, God forbid, something does happen on your campus, that it's documented, that I told you. As I've said before, the security department is the most segregated and divided department in all of the district. There is no protocols or consistent policies. The security managers just wing it and play it by ear. It's unsafe. Also, it should be a red flag to you that the employees in your security department are abruptly retiring, transferring to other jobs, transferring to other departments within the district, and straight out quitting. Yesterday at your community cabinet meeting, it is not okay to have every single security manager, as well as the head of the security department, in attendance in such a crucial time of our campuses, which is lunchtime. I know for a fact that the schools are short-staffed when it comes to security, but instead they were over here hanging out and mingling. Them, of all people, should be at the front lines, using their presence as a deterrent for bad behavior. I personally would like to see their patrol cars driving around during actual school day at all the campuses within the district. I never see them. I only see patrol cars parked on the high school campuses, locked inside. I honestly feel that their office should be at a centralized elementary school within the area that they work in. The secondary schools have a resource officer already. They are supposed to be mobile and ready to go, not locked in a campus, and not and ready to go at any given time. It makes no sense. Also, I did hear Mr. Castro's wellness presentation that he gave at the community meeting yesterday, and I hope and pray that the security managers were listening to his facts about what kids go through on a daily basis and how to use PBIS skills. To this day, past students ask about a couple of your security managers that currently work here because they have unpleasant feelings towards them because these adults were so disrespectful to them when they were students. They didn't try to help with student success. They were too busy trying to tackle them and pepper spray them. They did not help students be successful, and you promoted them to be your managers. I was being taught to tackle kids and pepper spray kids when I worked here, which was one of the reasons I could no longer be a part of a department that did not care about student success. And although I truly miss the students that I served in my community, I could no longer look the other way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Villa. Those are all the speaker slips that I have. Ms. Medina, do you have any other speaker slips? All right, so we'll go ahead and close public comment. Appreciate those of you that came out to speak, particularly the students. It's not easy to get up and speak in public. You spoke very well, so we do appreciate that. Okay, is the Slover students here? The Slover, okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and then we're gonna jump back to our school showcase since our Slover student leaders are here. Principal Frejo, would you please introduce our student leaders for the presentation?
Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. Thank you for being so gracious for us. But I want to introduce our kiddos. They're up here to give their student showcase for you. And batter up, kiddos.
Good evening, board members. My name is Adrian Villegas. I'm in 12th grade, and I'm ASB president at Slover Mountain High School.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Julian Venegas. I'm in 12th grade, and I'm leadership in ASB.
Good evening. I'm Lila De La Cruz. I'm in 12th grade, and I'm ASB leadership.
We would like to share some of our academic accomplishments since our last showcase. We have 6 students who graduated in mini quarter 1. Mini quarter 2, we have 4 graduates. We also had our mini quarter 2 award ceremony, and it was a packed house with families celebrating all of our accomplishments. We also had a surprise Slover scholars getting together and practicing for only 2 days to perform some corridos for us. Ms. Farha announced them as Grupo Slover. Everyone loved them. We had 13 students who received Perfect Attendance Awards, 1 student who received English Proficient Awards, 13 students who received Student of the Month from teachers and counselors, 31 students who received Honor Award Awards, 33 students who received Principal's Honor Award Awards.
For mini quarter 3, we had 11 graduates, 10 students who received Perfect Attendance Awards, 25 students who received Student of the Month Awards from teachers and counselors, 36 students who received Honor Award Awards, and 3 students who received Principal Honor Awards. We also had 26 scholars who returned home to their home schools to graduate.
Slover has also had MAPS assessments, LPAC assessments, and we have our upcoming CASP assessment. We are looking forward to our CASP Spirit Week theme, Level Up Your CASP Score, with 80s themed retro games to inspire us to achieve our goals. We have also had San Bernardino Valley College come and share with scholars and families a Dreamers Resource Presentation and Financial Aid Application Workshop. Our families and students had the opportunity to visit San Bernardino Valley College, VAPA programs, and discuss the road to college and career readiness.
Ms. Farho attended the Black College Expo at the SoFi Stadium with some of our scholars and other CJUSD high school students. The expo had many colleges to visit, along with historically Black colleges giving away on-the-spot scholarships. We also got to see the Battle of the Bands. The Marines came out to Slover during lunch, and they were always a hit, with scholars testing their strength on the pull-up bar.
Slover scholars also have been participating in the San Bernardino County Student Advisory Panel. They've been working together with other schools in the county, sharing their ideas on behavioral health, chronic diseases, and injury prevention. Their ideas will be shared and elected officially and community leaders to drive positive change in the region. Slover scholars also participated in the California Community School Partnership Program Forum. Slover was able to share their thoughts on academic needs, health-related issues, and social-emotional needs.
Slover had 30 students attend the Whitewater Reserve enrichment. The lesson included activities to learn about wildlife, physical and biological stream monitoring, and thanks to our science teachers for planning this event a whole year prior. Ms. Firehill also received an email from a volunteer at 4 years of the Whitewater Reserve enrichment. He stated, quote, "What a great group of kids. Every student jumped right into all the activities, were willing participants, had intelligent questions of their own, were fun and funny. We had the very best day working with your students. This is surely a credit to themselves, their teachers, and the administration at Slover Mountain High School."
Slover has launched the Real World Entrepreneur Mentorship Program in partnership with the Hispanic Coalition of Small Businesses. HSSB brought guest speaker Richard Montanez of Frito-Lay. He is famous for the Flaming Hot Cheetos. Mr. Montanez shared his story about resilience and never giving up. He also bought and signed some hot Cheeto bags for us. Every holiday season, Slover sends out a Google form to all students called the Slover Wish List. Students are to share who they would like to give a gift to, and staff help getting scholars those wishes. These are some of the scholars who received their wishes.
ROP Child Development class hosted Holiday Sloverland event with Bloomington Head Start and ASB. Staff at Slover donated Candyland games to the kiddos in Head Start, so they will receive a wrapped Candyland board game gift.
ROP Child Development class hosted the Valentine's event with Bloomington Head Start and ASB. Students made the Valentine cards and were fed heart pancakes. As they finished their Valentines, ASB scholars read books to Head Start the scholars.
Our softball team won the Inland Empire Alternative School League Championship. Slover literally knocked it out the park by swinging for success and came home with the gold trophy.
This year, Slover has joined forces with cooking clubs, gardening clubs, and we also have created our Slover Wellness Club. The wellness theme logo integrates our school's mascot. It features a circle symbolizing balance with green and blue accents for calmness and growth. The elements of heart, hand, and plants represent well-being and support. Special shout out to Ms. Hernandez, Ms. Baca, and Ms. Bishop, UC Master Gardener Program, and SBCSS CalFresh team for providing the items necessary.
Slover Mountain High School has been partnering with Saba from Designing Schools. Slover is an AI pilot school and is learning how to teach students how to use AI with ethical decision making. The inquiry question is, how might we leverage cell phone technology in the classroom to enhance student engagement and better prepare students for college and careers using AI-driven portfolios for Slover scholars? Slover is excited to see the outcomes for students' success using AI.
Slover has hosted parent workshops in Zumba, Moving for Fitness, Effects and Prevention Strategies for Student and Drug Use, and the Latino Family Literacy Program. Slover is grateful for the parents who have attended and is looking forward for more parent participation.
ASB has been very intentional with celebrating all cultures and being inclusive. ASB has been hosting Spirit Weeks in celebration of different cultures and also completes morning announcements with recognition of culture celebrations. This month during advisory, teachers are sharing Black History Month lessons, resources shared by our African American Parent Advisory Committee.
These are some of the events coming up at Slover. WASC, College and Career Fair, Inland Empire grad ceremony, grad night at Universal Studios, senior sunset, Colton High School elementary school visits, Grand Terrace High School elementary school visits, and Bloomington High School elementary school visits, senior breakfast, graduation practice, and the graduation ceremony.
Please follow us on all our social media pages so you can see all the events happening at Slover. Thank you. Maybe answer any questions or you'd like to give us any feedback.
That was a fantastic presentation, and I'm just in awe of the variety and breadth of activities that you have going on, so I'm sure there's some questions and comments. So let me kick it over to my board members for questions, comments, please. Yes, Board Member Flores, please.
I would love to give you feedback. You were awesome. Thank you so much for giving us an update on everything that you're doing. I specifically like the AI, getting ahead of the artificial intelligence. We know it's here, and for you to take it on, that's amazing. I think as we get older, we get a little more hesitant to try new things, and I just really, my hat goes off to you because you're embracing it and you're learning. So I will be learning from you in the future. Also, the celebration of cultures, I really commend you on that activity because we as a district, we celebrate diversity, and any time that we can celebrate what everybody brings to the table, everybody that walks through our doors, we want to celebrate the culture and the diversity. So thank you for an excellent presentation, and I'm looking forward to what you're going to show us next time.
Thank you so much.
Board Member Haro.
I too want to congratulate you, and especially, normally we have a female and male presenters, and this is the first time we've had all male presenters.
I'm female, but I
apologize.
No, you're cool. I don't blame you, but thank you. I just wanted to.
I want to just congratulate you guys on a wonderful job, and I want to thank you for a wonderful presentation because we love, this is always one of our favorite things at a board meeting, is listening to what is happening out in the schools. And a big part of it is that, that you're engaged. You're engaged because of all the different celebrations you're doing. I saw you guys are going to have a video game theme week where you guys are going to dress up like your favorite character and do video games. I mean, all of these things enhance your education and make it more engaging for you. And just a little tidbit for you. You can tell I'm wearing Disney because I like Disney. But I want you to, you were talking about the gentleman that came out from Fritos, and I want to give you a little tidbit of information so that you know a little something. We all love Doritos, and Doritos were created at Disneyland. There used to be many, many years ago, there was a restaurant there called Casa de Fritos, and they noticed that the tortillas were getting thrown away because, they weren't perfect, and so they decided to make tortilla chips. And that's where the birthplace of Doritos was at Disneyland. So you have a little extra little tidbit of information. So I just wanted to share that with you, and thank you again for your wonderful presentation. Like I said, I know all of us, it's our favorite, is to hear our students talk and see everything that's happening.
Yeah, Board Member.
First of all, you guys did an awesome job, very awesome job. Julian, love the hair, brother. Looking good, because in the picture, you hardly have any hair. We look at those things. No, I'm kidding, brother. It looks good, it looks good. So congratulations, you guys are doing an awesome job. Every time I head out to Slover, I'm excited to go when I get those invitations and it's on my calendar. I want to go because I know there's things happening there. Also, congratulations to the boys softball for being the champions. Man, that trophy looks really, really cool. I love it. I see it here. And so congratulations to all of you. And everything you're doing with the child development program there through CRIROP and all of that, I could see the kids are excited working with the youngsters, the preschoolers, and those preschoolers are cute. They always have the weird questions and stuff. I don't know if many of you know, but I dress up as Santa Claus, and one of the questions was, Santa Claus, do you shower? And so I said, yes, every day. And and every day and twice on Sunday, that's right. So, but we love those 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and they're amazing kids. And I know that at Slover they work with those kids and they make positive things like the Valentines, the Slover Land, all of that. So I'm very, very excited to hear all the great things that are happening at Slover, because you can't spell Slover without love, and that love is there since Miss Tiffany was there, Miss Hampton was there, and it's all about love, and that's what makes a difference. So thank you. Thank you for coming out this evening. You guys did such an awesome job.
Board Member Ibarra.
And I just want to add to everything that's been said. First of all, I just want to say you guys did a wonderful job. You guys were articulate, very clear. You were commanding of your topics that you guys, all three of you, spoke about. And that's a really good skill to have. And it's a skill that you will take with you no matter where you go in your careers, continued education, etc. Also want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, because as representatives of your school, you're the leaders. You're the ones who help make a lot of these exciting events happen. And one of the things that happens when that happens is that students want to come to school. Students love going to school. You know, of course, we love to have them go because they want to learn. That's number one priority. But they also know that there's other things going on that they could be part of. And because as you spoke about all the different events and opportunities and experiences that students could have at Slover, you know what? You know, that's just what it's all about. The experiences that you accumulate in high school will define where you're going to go and how it's going to help you as you guys grow. And you're sharing it with all your student body. So there's no reason why I don't see why students want to go to Slover, want to stay at Slover, and want to graduate at Slover. Because over the years, and I'm the one who could say this, I've seen Slover grow, change to what it is today. Far cry from when I first saw it. And so I just want to commend each and every one of you for the fine job you do being the leaders there on campus. So I just want to say thank you and good job. Thank you, Dan.
You know, to add to that, it's an award-winning school. Man, that's all I could say. It's an award-winning school. So congratulations.
Great job presenting. Obviously not easy to get up in front of a big crowd and to speak. You did fantastic. And again, I'll just echo what's already been said. I think what's most impressive is you look at the presentation and just the variety of things that you're exposed to, that you're doing. I absolutely love, I've been to Whitewater myself, and what the Wildlands Conservancy has done there. That's hands-on learning. That's not just stuck in the classroom. You're going out and experiencing things firsthand. I've had the pleasure of listening to Mr. Montanez tell his story. He's incredibly inspiring and motivating. That's phenomenal. And then, of course, you know, all of the activities that you do with the Head Start, you're fortunate that you have those little ones there and that you've incorporated them into your curriculum. That's fantastic. So you're getting an education unlike any other education around. We'll put Slover up against any school. I'm not talking alternative schools, any school, secondary, high school in the region, and you should be very proud. So thank you so much for that. And again, we look forward to more to come. All right, great job. All right, this takes us to our administrative presentations for the day. Oh yes, we'd love to shake your hands, please. Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you again. Our next item on the agenda is our administrative presentations. The first one is our DELAC needs assessment. So I'm going to ask Dr. Peterson, our Assistant Superintendent of Ed Services, to please kick off this presentation.
Good evening, Board President Flores, Board Members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda. Ed Services has two presentations tonight. And so our first presentation, as you're aware, part of our LCAP is that, as part of our LCAP process, is that our English learner program, that we do a needs assessment each year with that program. And so it starts at our site ELACs, English Learner Advisory Committees, finding out their needs and their wants and providing data on that, and then goes to our DELAC, and then DELAC puts together the needs assessment for presentation tonight. So it's my pleasure tonight to introduce our language support Services Director, Dr. Wendy Moore, who will begin the presentation and introduce our other presenters.
Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. As Dr. Peterson mentioned, tonight we are here to present the DELAC Needs Assessment, which is presented collaboratively with our District English Learner Parent Advisory Committee, known as DELAC, and Language Support Services Department. Before we begin, I want to give an opportunity to our parents to introduce themselves as well.
Good evening. Thank you for having us today. I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you about this program. My name is Herbert Jaco. I go by Alex. I am a parent of 2 kids at Grand Terrace Elementary. Both of them are in the dual immersion program, learning English and Spanish at the same time. My oldest daughter reclassified as a fluent English speaker now. My little one was an English only, but you know, English learners are really dear to me. I am a product of Colton High, so I graduated in 2008. I had the opportunity to come back and work for a couple of years as an English learner counselor, and now I'm serving as a counselor at Crafton Hills College in Yucaipa.
El trabajo en unión crea nuestros líderes del futuro, y el futuro son nuestros niños. Mi nombre es Claudia Muñoz de Arévalo. Soy mamá de 2 niñas, ama de casa y representante en mi escuela del comité de DELAC y CCS, Escuela Zimmerman Elementary en Bloomington, California. Soy una mamá proactiva y activa de las cosas que la escuela me requiere. Me gusta dar sugerencias y saber que en mi escuela tengo una voz para abogar por las necesidades de los niños y de mi comunidad. Tengo una niña de 14 años que ella pasó el aprendiz de inglés en 2º grado y tengo una niña en 5º grado que todavía está dentro del programa. Ser parte de este comité por muchos años me ha enseñado a aprender que hay apoyos para nuestros niños que a veces uno ignora. Los invito a ser parte de las etapas de crecimiento de los niños líderes del futuro. No es necesario ser miembro de un comité. Lo importante es que somos miembros de una misma comunidad, nuestra comunidad estudiantil. Muchas gracias.
She says, the work we do together, it helps us build leaders to the future, and the future is our children. Hi, my name is Claudia Arévalo, and I'm a mother of 2 children. I'm a homemaker and a representative of my school and the DELAC committee and CCS and Zimmerman School. I am a mother, and I'm very proactive in the things that matter to my children's school, the things that the school requires. I love to give suggestions to the school and to know that in my school that I have a voice and I can advocate for the needs of my children and of the community. Being a part of this committee for the many years that I have has taught me to learn and how to support our children and support our children. I have also learned about programs that otherwise I would have ignored, I wouldn't have known about. And it's good to have these programs. I invite others to form part of these groups, and I can guarantee that they would help you grow. They would help in your growth and to help us support our future leaders. It's not necessary to be a member of these committees, but the important thing is to be a members of the same community, of this community of our students. Thank you.
So I'll begin tonight's presentation by sharing how we've been improving instruction for our multilingual English learners in our district. This is the second year of implementing research-based approaches to professional development, collaboration, lesson delivery, and program evaluation. In regard to teacher training, thus far this year, 928 teachers have completed their integrated ELD training, and 439 teachers have completed their designated ELD training. Not all teachers teach designated ELD at the secondary level, which is why there's a difference in those numbers. For that professional learning, 5 hours of training is focused on integrated ELD, and 4 hours of training is focused on designated ELD. As we know, effective research-based professional learning must extend beyond a one-day event, and in-class support is that extension. Each of our teachers receives 5 hours of in-class support focused on integrated ELD, and 3 hours of support focused on designated ELD. Lastly, I'll highlight preparation via lesson planning and feedback on ELD strategy implementation through our district's walkthrough tool. Lesson plans are submitted on a weekly basis to site administrators. Administrators then review those plans and provide feedback to teachers via Google Classroom. Daily lesson plans include ELD standard, language objective, ELD strategies, and how teachers are going to differentiate instruction based on students' linguistic levels. Walkthroughs are conducted on a regular basis. 2 times per month, administrators provide feedback focused on the effective implementation of ELD strategies. To give you an idea of how many walks our administrators are doing, last year they completed a total of 3,175 walkthroughs, and so far this school year there's been a total of 5,100 walkthroughs conducted. The next few slides will cover our current student population, languages spoken, and performance data. In CJUSD, we serve a total of nearly 18,000 students. 3,141 of those students are multilingual English learners. 1,422 are reclassified fluent English proficient who are being monitored. So after students reclassify, we monitor them for 4 years to ensure that they're continuing to make progress. And then 1,624 of those students are reclassified and they've exited, so they're no longer being monitored. While the overwhelming majority of our multilingual English learners identify Spanish as their first language, as you can see on the graph to the left, the graph on the right shows the additional top 7 languages that are spoken in our district, and there are a total of 25 languages represented in our district. This graph shows our graduation rates. We recognize that this is an area of growth. Graduation rate is an area of focus for language support services, the Ed Services Division, and Executive Cabinet as a whole. This graph shows our reclassification rate from 2019 up until last school year. You can see that reclass rates are trending in a positive direction. Last year, we were proud that we were able to match the pre-pandemic reclassification rates. Looking at dashboard data, you can see the same positive trajectory with our LP, which is the measurement of students' progress on their English language proficiency. We want to highlight that last column where you can see that 48% of students have progressed at least 1 level on the LPAC this last school year. Continuing with dashboard data, the graph on, or the image on the left rather, shows the state of California, and then the image on the right is CJUSD. Results for English learner progress show an increase of 1.4%. So as I mentioned before, we're at 48.2% of students making progress. And this is considered maintained, so we're in the yellow there. Across the state, there was actually a report of a 3-point decrease. And our surrounding districts also showed that same decrease. And so we're really proud of the fact that we're continuing to show progress. When we look at distance from standard, you can see that every group in our district has decreased in terms of negative distance from standard, which means, again, we're showing improvement in all areas, including our multilingual English learners. This slide shows the percentage of students who met or exceeded the standard for ELA on the CASP exam. A point to highlight here is that our reclassified fluent English proficient students actually outperform our English-only students, which speaks to the power of multilingualism. So you can see 6.2%, 2.5% of English-only students met or exceeded, 33.37% of our EOs, and then 45.9% of our RFEPs met or exceeded. It's also important to note that once our ELs reclassify, they're no longer in that EL bucket, right? So now they're in the RFEP bucket, and so then that percentage will always be lower, significantly lower as compared to our EOs and our RFEPs. But you can see that same pattern in mathematics, where you see our English learner students are at 4.82%, English only at 19.87%, and then our reclassified fluent English proficient students are outperforming there with 23.17%. I'm going to hand it over now to our DELAC parents, who are going to share the results of our needs assessment.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. And on the screen, you will see the results for the survey. Just so you know, I'm going to read the information in English, and my partner is going to read it in Spanish. We're going to be saying the same thing in different languages. So we have the survey in English and Spanish. For the Spanish responses, we got 72. And for the English responses, we have 20. We have participation from all different levels: elementary with 63 responses, middle school with 8 responses, and high school with 21 responses.
Se hizo una encuesta para las necesidades que los papás pensamos que son requeridas para el enseñamiento y nuestro DELAC, nuestro aprovechamiento del programa DELAC. Se hizo la encuesta y hubo 72 respuestas en español, 20 en inglés, primaria 63 de las respuestas, secundaria 8 y preparatoria 21 respuestas.
From now on, every slide is going to have 2 different graphs. One of them is going to show the result for the English survey, and the other one is going to be for the Spanish survey. As Dr. Moore mentioned it before, we have more languages other than English. But for those participants, they have to fill it in English because probably they don't understand Spanish. So the first question is, I feel welcome and included at my child's school. From the English response, we got 85% of the respondents agree or strongly agree, while only 15% strongly disagree. For the Spanish response, we had 93% agree or strongly agree, while only 7% disagree or strongly disagree.
Una de las preguntas que se hizo es, ¿me siento bienvenido e incluido en la escuela de mi hijo o mi hija? La encuesta en inglés nos dice que el 85% están totalmente en acuerdo, más el 15% están totalmente en desacuerdo. Pero nuestra encuesta en español dice que el 93% de nuestros encuestados están totalmente de acuerdo en que son incluidos en las escuelas de sus hijos y el 7% dice que no está en acuerdo.
The next question reads, I have an understanding of the daily language instruction my child receives in English Language Development, or ELD. 80% of the English respondents strongly agree or agree, while only 20% disagree or strongly disagree. For the Spanish responders, 86% strongly agree or agree, while only 14% disagree or strongly disagree.
La siguiente pregunta fue, ¿tengo una comprensión del idioma de instrucción diario que a mi hijo se le da o recibe? El LAD. La encuesta en inglés nos dice que el 80% de los padres encuestados dijeron que están totalmente de acuerdo, mas sin embargo el 20% está en desacuerdo. Pero en nuestra comunidad de habla hispana, el 86% de los encuestados está de acuerdo, mientras el 14% está en desacuerdo.
The third question is, my child is receiving adequate support and acquiring English in reading, writing, and mathematics. For the English response, we got an 80% that says they agree or strongly agree, while 20% disagree or strongly disagree. On the Spanish responders, we got 92% agreeing or strongly agreeing, while only 8% disagreeing or strongly disagreeing.
Mi hijo recibe el apoyo adecuado y está adquiriendo el inglés en lectura, redacción y matemáticas. La encuesta en inglés nos dice que el 80% de nuestros encuestados dicen que están totalmente en acuerdo y el 20% está en desacuerdo. Y en nuestra encuesta en español, el 92% de los encuestados está totalmente de acuerdo y el 8% está en desacuerdo.
Next, we have, I am being informed of my child's progress on the English Language Proficiency Assessment, or LPAC. For the English responders, 75% agree or strongly agree, while 25% disagree or strongly disagree. For the Spanish respondents, 92% of them agree or strongly agree, while only 8% disagree or strongly disagree.
Se me informa del progreso de mi hijo en las evaluaciones de competencia del idioma inglés para California, conocido mejor como LPAC. En las encuestas en inglés nos dice que el 75% de los encuestados está totalmente de acuerdo, mientras el 25% está en desacuerdo o en total desacuerdo. Mas, sin embargo, en español, nuestros participantes, un 92%, están totalmente en acuerdo y el 8% está en desacuerdo.
The next one reads, I know who to contact if I need help with school problems or issues. 85% of the English response agree or strongly agree, while 15% disagree or strongly disagree. On the Spanish side, 88% of the responders agree or strongly agree, while 12% disagree or strongly disagree.
Yo sé con quién comunicarme si necesito ayuda con un problema o asunto de la escuela. En inglés se contestó el 85% que están de acuerdo y el 15% que están en desacuerdo o en total desacuerdo. Y en español, las encuestas dieron un porcentaje del 88% que están en total acuerdo y el 12% están en desacuerdo.
Last one. So this one is a little different because we want to know what is the preferred method to receive school information or the communication. As you can see in both surveys, English and Spanish, the results were pretty similar, with the most preferred method being text messages or email communications.
Mas, sin embargo, en nuestras encuestas, tanto en inglés como en español, los métodos preferidos de los padres para que se comuniquen, para que haya comunicación entre escuelas y padres de familia, les gustan en textos y en correos electrónicos.
And now we're going to go over the feedback on which programs for multilingual English learners or male students should be maintained, revised, added, and/or eliminated. We don't have any eliminations here. So to maintain the dual immersion and tutoring, of course I have a personal bias on that because my daughters are in this program and I can see the benefits of keeping that, so please keep it. We also have maintained the teachers' professional development to enhance their abilities to support the multilingual English learner students. To add additional support and resources for parents and students. Add career classes to support students in career exploration. Add math support. Add resources for struggling students like extra English classes. And some recommendations to revise: improve the communication and resources for at-home support, and also improve the collaboration between parents and the teachers.
¿Qué programas para los aprendices de inglés o multilingües deberemos conservar, revisar, agregar y o eliminar? Conservar. Conservar inversión dual y tutorías. Eso es como lo más importante de este programa, seguir apoyando con tutorías en este paso de inversión dual para nuestros niños aprendices de inglés. Conservar el desarrollo profesional para nuestros maestros para mejorar su capacidad de apoyar a los aprendices de inglés multilingües. Buscar más maestros. Yo sí me gustaría que se enfocaran en ayudarnos a tener más apoyo con los maestros, darle oportunidad a maestros nuevos que quieran aprender de esto y enseñar a nuestros niños. Agregar apoyos y recursos adicionales para padres de familia y alumnos. agregar clases profesionales para apoyar a alumnos en su exploración profesional, agregar apoyo en matemáticas, agregar recursos para que los alumnos que enfrentan dificultades tales como clases de inglés adicionales, revisar, mejorar la comunicación de recursos para el apoyo en el hogar, mejorar la colaboración entre padres de familia y maestros.
So I'll conclude our presentation with our findings and recommendations. So while we're pleased to see that 85% of our respondents feel welcome, we know that this is a needs assessment, and our focus is to identify areas of improvement. And so you'll see on the left side the area that we're focusing on, and then the right side the recommendation from DELAC. So while 85% of respondents strongly agree or agree with feeling welcome, the 15% of respondents strongly disagree. I want to ask, how can we ensure that we create a welcoming environment? The recommendation is to offer employee training to ensure that there's translation and or interpretation for events, and to ensure that families feel welcomed at school functions and assemblies. In regards to ELD understanding, we saw that 20% of English respondents and 14.3% of Spanish respondents stated that they did not have an understanding of their child's ELD instruction. So how can we increase parents and families' understanding of ELD? The recommendation was to explain testing information, to offer information in different formats, and then to increase communication from teachers as they felt that they were the personnel that's directly connected to students. In terms of content area support, 20% of English respondents and 8.6% of Spanish respondents stated that their child was not receiving adequate English development support in content area. So this is our focus for integrated ELD, which is the large part of what we focus on for professional development. The recommendation is that we would guide students and expect excellence, the high expectations, that we would offer tutoring, and that we would continue to support students in those subjects. In regards to building awareness on the LPAC, 25% of English respondents and 8.7% of Spanish respondents stated that they did not have an understanding of their child's LPAC performance. And so the recommendation is that we continue to communicate the advantages of resources that sites and district offers, and that we ensure that students and families understand the importance of the exam. So I know our department in particular has been doing a lot of LPAC awareness as we just opened up the window for LPAC assessment this month. The next area is family and parent support, with 15% of English respondents and 12.8% of Spanish respondents stating that they did not know who to contact if they needed help with a problem or issue. The recommendation is that we inform families where to go and who to contact if they need help, so just being proactive with pushing that information out. And it was recommended that that be done with bulletins, emails, and text, as the parents have mentioned the preferred method of communication. So for language support services, our next steps are that each site would have the opportunity to share this DELAC needs presentation with their site ELACs, as that's where the data came from initially, as well as their staff, because it's important for them to be informed of what parent voice is. LSS will then partner with district departments to address the specific recommendations that are offered by DELAC. And then obviously we'll go back and provide an update to DELAC regarding the recommendations and the work that has been put in place to address them. Oh, sorry. And that concludes our presentation for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. A lot there, a lot to digest, and lots of questions. So again, I'm gonna start off by kicking it to our board members for questions, comments for either Dr. Moore or our parent leaders. Go for it, Bertha. Jump right in.
I'll go first. Primeramente, quiero decirle a nuestra, mamá que está ahí, Claudia Muñoz, felicidades, su presentación estuvo excelente. Tocó en puntos que muy importantes que nosotros necesitamos tener en mente para mejorar la educación de nuestros hijos. Así es que felicidades por su presentación. al joven. Lo conozco yo cuando era estudiante en Colton High School, Herbeth, y estoy muy orgullosa. Por eso no le puedo decir señor Jaco, porque lo conocía de jovencito. Así es que, y luego que regresas y tienes a tus propios niños en nuestra doble inmersión, estoy muy contenta también por eso. I'm just congratulating Ms. Munoz for her presentation and for the points that she made to improve the education of our English learners. And Herbeth Jaco, he was a student at Colton High School when I used to, be a director of language support services, and I am just extremely proud of you, for where you are now and for giving back and coming back. El dicho que dijo es muy, muy importante, señora Muñoz, es porque nuestros niños son el futuro. Your quote is very well received. The students are our future. Nuestra meta es mejorar el programa para que nuestros hijos sigan triunfando. Our main goal as a school board is to provide the best education possible for all kids, including our English learners who have such a potential to succeed. So anyway, I just wanted to congratulate you as parents. Sin ustedes no podemos hacer lo que necesitamos hacer, así es que quisiera que vinieran muchos más padres y involucrar más padres. We cannot do this without the parents. The parents have to be involved. If they are not involved, there's a missing piece that in order to do what we want to do. Okay, so on the, I was going to call Wendy, Dr. Moore. Dr. Moore, I just want to go back to a few slides, like slide 18. Let's see. Okay, slide 18 shows the graduates. It shows 68% of multilingual learners are graduating, and 87% of, 68 of English only, and am I right? Yeah, 68, 87% English only. My question is, just so that the audience understands too, is we talked about buckets where we have the reclassified that are monitored and reclassified that have exited. So specifically the ones that have exited, that are no longer there, where do they fall?
Thank you for that question. That's a great question. They would actually fall in the EL bucket.
In the EL bucket. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for that. So they'll stay in that bucket.
For this actual graph for graduation rates, yes, they're not counted on the EL. It's strictly EL students that are on the blue side.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And then on slide 21, it shows that 48.2 are making progress. The state we're actually higher than the state.
Yes, that's correct. Yay, yes.
That shows, I believe, is a result of the instruction that is going on in the classroom and the focus that our teachers are having on intentional ELD lessons. So that's wonderful. And I believe, let's see, I was taking notes like crazy. I think number 39, I believe. Oh, the way you laid out this presentation is very, very helpful for us because it shows the findings and then it shows the recommendations. So, there's no ambiguity there. I mean, we know exactly what our plan of action is going to be. And so we'll probably be talking about this, the recommendations and the progress that we're making. So, I'm sure we'll have more conversations about this. So, Dr. Moore, thank you so much for this presentation, and I'm very, very excited about where our English learners are headed. So, thank you.
Other questions, comments, please? Board Member Fuentes.
Thank you. Primeramente, excelente trabajo a los dos. A los padres que están aquí apoyando también, gracias por estar aquí presentes, apoyando a los demás padres. Mis hijas estuvieron en el programa de doble inmersión. La señora doctora Moore, ella fue la directora en Grimes cuando mis hijas estuvieron ahí. Uy, no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Y son dos historias de éxito. Mis dos hijas hablan, escriben y leen el español y en inglés muy bien, como si fuera cualquier cosa. Lo chistoso es cuando nosotros hablamos uno al otro, hablamos Spanglish, inglés-español, pero eso es parte de poder saber dos idiomas, poder cambiar de un idioma al otro sin ningún problema. So I just wanted to congratulate both of you for your presentation. All the information that you've given us today, the surveys, are very important to know where we stand at. You know, if they agree, disagree, and it does make a difference. Everything Ms. Flores asked was some of the things I was going to ask about also, the graduation rates and all of that. And I just love the way you guys brought it to us. It's clear, it's eficaz, está bien hecho, y los felicito. Se fijan cómo cambié de inglés a español sin problema. Así es como corre el agua. Y and I just want to congratulate both of you for bringing that information. Dr. Moore, thank you for bringing the information out here. We're going to be looking at all these numbers, looking at everything, the survey with a lot of heart. Estaremos viendo las encuestas que dieron con mucho corazón, mucho detalle, porque queremos que nuestros hijos sean exitosos y ellos sigan adelante en poder aprender dos idiomas. Es muy importante. Yo me acuerdo cuando estaba pequeño, pues me acuerdo que mis padres decían, no tengas vergüenza de poder hablar otro idioma, porque vas a tener mucho éxito cuando hables dos idiomas. I remember when I was young, my dad would tell me, or my mom would say, don't be embarrassed to speak another language, because you will have success when you speak two languages. And speaking two languages is a key to a lot of jobs today. And a lot of jobs, they'll take the person that speaks another language. Doesn't matter if it's Spanish or Vietnamese, Korean, whatever. They'll take you because you are bilingual. So again, I want to thank you for all the information that you brought us. Les doy gracias por toda la información que nos trajeron. Que Dios les bendiga. God bless you. Thank you.
Any other board member comments, questions? Great. A couple of quick questions, Dr. Moore, since you're there. Let me jump back to the presentation here. Translation services has always been a challenge. It's not just with us as a school district. Having worked at the county, most public agencies, it's a challenge. What have we done or what are we doing to improve access for translation services for our parents and our families? I'll say yes, it's certainly at the events and activities such as this, but I think it's also the bigger challenge is just the daily things. Somebody calling the school to get information about an event or an activity, an attendance issue, and if there's not somebody on the school site that speaks, in the office that speaks Spanish, for example, which is the most predominant second language, what do we do? How do we handle that?
Is it on? Oh. And so we are constantly recruiting staff to fill the gap, but we know that oftentimes having that human resource is a challenge. To be honest with you, the blessing has, or the benefit blessing has been AI, and also lots of translation services that are improving. I know that PPS has also purchased a program that helps with translation when they're doing IEPs and things of that nature, and so we face that same challenge in our department. We have a translator in our department, and there are district translators as well that are constantly working to support the sites, but we also have numbers that we can call in, and because we also have other languages, right, that maybe we don't have a person that speaks that language, but they're definitely a lot better than they have been, and so that they're able to provide lifetime translation for our families.
I appreciate that, and I was looking to see if that's in fact what we are utilizing. I know that you can call into services, and they'll get somebody on the line instantly to start translation, and it's proficient, it's confidential, and it's something that you can get instantaneously. So that's great to know that we have those contracts. The other really, I'll say, pleasant surprise is to see that in many instances when we surveyed our parents, that those that are part of our English learner community They seem to be more engaged, certainly a greater understanding of what the curriculum is and what their students are engaged in. I mean, I just have to ask, what do you think it is, why, that we have a higher level of engagement there than, say, general student population?
This is a conversation that we've had with our EL counselors, just looking at where that gap is and what we can do to improve on it. I honestly feel that it's like DELAC is highly attended, right? And so then parents are getting that information on a regular basis who attend DELAC. For our department, we've set a goal to be more intentional with reaching out to our English learners who don't speak Spanish, right? So what are the other languages on that graph? And how can we be intentional with making sure that those students feel welcome, that they're being acclimated into the culture, and that we're finding ways to support them and reach out to their families. So that's where we feel the gap is.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, we look forward to working with you and being a partner. Thank you. Great job. You did very well. Dr. Peterson, I believe you're still on deck, right?
Absolutely. So our second presentation this evening, as you know, February is Career Technical Education Month. And as a district, we partner with our friends Colton Redlands Yucaipa ROP. And so tonight, our coordinator of data and assessment and CTE coordinator, Paul Lucero, as well as the director of Ed Services for CRIROP will be making Melissa Dix will be making the presentation tonight, and so I welcome them up to the podium.
Good evening, Board President Flores, Superintendent Miranda, board members, members of Executive Cabinet, CJUSD staff, students, parents, and members of the community. I think I got everybody. My name is Paul Lucero, and I'm the coordinator of CTE and CJUSD. Tonight I have the privilege, and also my voice is going away, the privilege to address you, to shine a light on all of the great work that CJUSD is doing in career technical education. I assure you that the state of career technical education in Colton is strong. Where's oh, there it is. I got it this time. All right. To start off with, I'd like to introduce a team of people who work tirelessly to bring CTE programs and opportunities to our students. I was a former history teacher, so I speak in stories sometimes, so I'm going to give you one. Before I was a teacher, I was in construction. I worked as a construction site surveyor. And if you don't know what a construction site surveyor does, many of you probably almost ran me over at some point. It's the people who stand out in the middle of the street with a thing that looks like a big camera. It's actually a laser. And we find points on a flat piece of ground to tell people where to build. Just a fun fact, we're usually the first people on a job and the last people to leave a job. But we're never seen. We're not quite heard from very often, and we're always in high demand. It's an amazing career. I will say, though, that the view from my office back then was gorgeous, right? Early mornings, seeing the sunset, or sunrise, excuse me, seeing the sunset over job sites, and then seeing these buildings be built out of nothing, from nothing, excuse me, is an amazing thing. And many of the people on my team for CTE, they remind me of those days as a construction site surveyor. We're the first people here, we're the last people to leave many events, and we're not seen or heard from very often, but we are in high demand. So I'd like to introduce those folks to you tonight so you can see them, and they're all part of a CTE team. I do want to make sure that we understand CTE is that umbrella, that ROP, that work experience, that all of that lives under, right? Career Technical Education. So Ken Soldman is our program specialist for the school district. He takes care of everything curriculum, right? So all of the course descriptions, all of the things that we bring into the classroom, Ken's in charge of that. He's in charge of being our go-between with teachers as well when they want to bring new things and new programs to us. So just a huge resource there. And again, somebody who's not seen very often, but is very important. Doris Hernandez and Avelia Tariquez, both are work-based learning technicians. These ladies, I can't stress how much they do for our CTE program and our school district, and how much they care about our school district. They are our bridge to the community for all things work-based, right? So when we bring in the unions, the Carpenters Union, IBEW, when we bring in all of the people for our STEAM Expo, our CTEP event, all of our community members, you know, the city of Colton works with us. There's just too many to list, right? But these two ladies are tireless. They go out. They are fearless as well. They go into the community. They bring all of these community partners to us, and they care, right? They have students who are school-aged, some of them in our own school district, and they want to make this program great for their students. So I just want to highlight them. And then, of course, we have Melissa here tonight from CRIROP. Our CRIROP team is the folks who bring the majority of our programs to us as a school district. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, their expertise, and everything that they bring to us. So tonight we have Melissa here. She's the Director of Educational Services there, and will be co-presenting with me. So I just wanted to point out all those folks, and we'll get into highlighting the beautiful buildings that we build with CTE in the students and the programs that we have later, but I wanted to show that this team does work for you and with you to bring these programs. So thank you for that. And I'll turn everything over to Melissa now, who's going to give you an overview of what CTE is.
Thank you, Paul, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm actually serving tonight in place of our program manager, Elena Hernandez. She is our CRIROP program manager serving the Colton district, and she does send her hellos to you, and sorry she could not be here. But CRIROP for about 54 years now has proudly served alongside CJUSD, also Redlands and Yucaipa school districts to provide high-quality CTE programs for so many students in our communities. Currently, through partnerships with the district and CRIROP, there are 30 CTE programs available in the school district, both at the middle and high school levels. That includes 30 teachers and 9 linked learning pathways. One of the things we're really proud of at in CTE and that a lot of people aren't aware of is our teachers not only credentialed through the state credentialing commission, but they're also the industry experts. So every teacher in a CTE classroom has lived that work and often still sometimes does live that work in coinciding with their teaching. So they bring that industry expertise into the classrooms to provide that relevance and that rigor to truly prepare students both for career and college opportunities post-graduation.
So you got the data guy here too. So I brought you some data points as well tonight. Excuse me. So the first data point I bring is our enrollments currently at all of our high schools for our pathways. So this doesn't include our middle schools because our middle schools don't have pathways. They have our Paxton Patterson labs, so there is CTE there. However, we would like to highlight all of those enrollments so you can see them there. And just the big portion of it is that 45% of our high school students are currently enrolled in a CTE course within Colton Joint Unified School District. So when you think about that, just think back on the 30 programs, 30 teachers, right? And think about how dynamic that is, right? Dynamite comes in small packages. CTE is fairly small in a district our size with 30 programs and 30 teachers. However, we service a wide amount of our students.
Okay, so on your school dashboard, we saw some of that information with our EL students. There's also what we call our college and career indicator on the dashboard, and CTE is a big part of that. So what the state looks at as far as how CTE contributes to the dashboard is pathway completion. And currently that's defined for students to complete a 2-year pathway. The first course, you'll often see a course like Auto Technician 1. That would be called the concentrator class, which is kind of the intro to the pathway. And then the second year is known as the capstone. In order to receive that pathway completion designation, the students do need to pass their concentrator and receive a C- or better in their capstone program. And again, that's all part of, that also includes A through G and other college opportunities like dual enrollment and articulation with our community colleges.
So some more data. For 2023, 20% of our CCI ready students were pathway completers. We know that that's a point of growth, as you just heard from DELAC, right? We need to grow our CCI. If you're wondering what color our indicator is on the dashboard, it's actually yellow. I didn't put it here, but I saw it in the previous presentation, so I figured I'd bring it up. We were low the year before that, which would have been orange, so we're yellow now. So we have grown. One of the places that we've taken upon ourselves as a school district to look at growing is within our African American students and our students with disabilities. We noticed that students were participating in our pathways at a lower rate previously, and over the past year, in both of those student group populations, when you look at our data, they both increased by 50%. So that shows the work that we're doing and what we need to continue to do as well. And then as far as our CCI, so there's two ways that CCI is looked at by the state. There is ready, and then there is approaching. So the 20% of the students that were CCI ready were pathway completers. 47% that were approaching were also pathway completers. So CTE is all over the place within the CCI component.
All right, going once.
Oh my.
Going twice.
I don't know. Yeah. Sorry. There's a video embedded in here. I don't know. We can pause it if you want. I didn't realize the video was embedded there. Thank you. So we do some compliance things within CTE. One of those is to comply with Perkins. We need to have a CTEP event or a CTE partnership event. This year we had that, and the year previous we had that in October. This year we had over 60 community partners there. We had over 100 students participate as well, and 18 pathways show up to that event. It was a great event. That was me that you heard in the background doing a drawing for some of the things that were there for students, and it's just a great event for our community to come in and partner with us and give us feedback on how our CTE programs are working.
Okay, if you haven't noticed through pictures and other presentations you've seen and been in our classrooms, CTE and preparing students for future careers is expensive. So one of the benefits of your partnership with us at CRIROP is that we go after those big dollars that are available at the state for CTE. So those include the CTE Incentive Grant, or CTIG, and also the K-12 Strong Workforce Pathway Program, which is also a partnership between our community colleges and our State Board of Education at the state level. Also a newer grant this year was the Golden State Pathways, which is one-time funds to help kind of bridge that the academic with the CTE and preparing students for post-secondary opportunities. So I'm going to say in the last 11 years, we have provided millions of dollars, both directly in dollars and indirectly in equipment, teacher training, student work-based learning activities for students directly to Colton District with our CTE programs, including your middle school programs and our auto EV things and other pictures you'll see as we go through here tonight. Me again. So we're going to touch a little bit about our pathways. You're going to see them here. We'll talk about a couple, and then through the pictures you'll see some additional things. So at Bloomington with our Bruins, these are the pathways at our site there. Just a couple highlights under business and entrepreneurship, our famous virtual enterprise program where students get to create their own business and learn how to run that business in a virtual world with competitors, not just in our state and in our country, but internationally with students that have that same entrepreneurial mindset. Also exciting is veterinary assistant. That is not a common program at the high school level, nor at the college level locally. So we're really excited that our students get to explore careers on helping our furry little friends, including a new partnership we have with the County Animal Shelter in Devore, where once a month they're bringing shelter pets, adoptable shelter pets, by the way, to Bloomington High School for the students to socialize with them and groom them and prepare them for their forever homes.
And we have a video of that happening here. This is Buddy. And if you don't know, Buddy was adopted actually this day here from that moment in time. So the adoptee of Buddy was actually Elena Hernandez at CRIROP. So Buddy has moved up in the world big time, from vet assistant at Bloomington High School to hanging out in Elena's house and just getting all the love in the world. So there you have it. And we have a few more pictures just to show you that are on this slide to give you an idea. I know Melissa mentions this over and over again, but all of these classes, the learning that goes on in there, right, bridges everything because it's hands-on. So you don't see anywhere in these pictures where students are just well, education's being done to them, right? Instead, they're active in that. So super important to put that out there, and we'll move on to the next one.
All right, next Wednesday, the shelter pets are back at Bloomington, just saying. Next, at Colton with our Yellow Jackets, just some examples of some programs. Under Product Innovation and Design is our newest pathway, or a revised pathway, which is our mechatronics pathway. If you have never heard of mechatronics, it's because it's kind of a newer and emerging industry. But really what that is it's looking at automation and all of the people that need to help the robots do their work. So our STEAM shop at Colton High School is now mechatronics, which along with our auto programs provides pre-apprenticeship opportunities and industry certification opportunities for our students. Another one to note here, our graphic communications program crosses the divide between graphic design and the arts and manufacturing, where students create digital print work and then actually print it out, and they do many projects for the community, including yearbooks for some of the elementary and middle schools here in the district.
So just some quick pictures again, just proving these hands-on things. We also have a welding shop that I believe is second to none. So if you go and view that shop, it's pretty amazing. Even we had the Carpenters Union come over during our STEAM event, and they went and looked at our welding shop, and they were impressed for sure by that. And then we have auto diagnostic and repair that's there, something near and dear to my heart since I'm a bit of a gearhead myself and did work in a shop for a little while. It's really great to see these students learning the diagnostic component to this, because that's all problem solving, right? So yeah, and we are bringing that EV component this year as well. And the little EV car is there, and will be assembled and disassembled years and years to come. So on the cutting edge there. All right, Grand Terrace High School, our pathways that are there. We have 6 pathways offered. Some of the highlights from that, we have emergency medical responder at that school site, and they have partnered just this year through our work-based learning technician. Actually, one of them, Avelia, knows the chief of fire over in Colton, and they were a little bit reluctant to head over to the Grand Terrace side of things because it's county, right? But we assured them that there are plenty of students in the Colton zip code that go to Grand Terrace High School, and just this year they partnered with them, and we have quite a few of those students in the Explorer program, which is key, right? Because emergency medical responder, a lot of people just think paramedics, right? But Con Fire is starting to work with the EMR program to bring in paramedics and into the firehouses. So we need to be firefighters first and paramedics as well. So having that Explorer program and the students being a part of that has been huge this year, and something that Lisa Komnick loves because she's a firefighter at heart, right? And then our engineering and design program at GT, Project Lead the Way Distinguished Site, and if you haven't seen their new drone show, it's pretty cool, all right? They just used that the other day during one of their assemblies, and it was really cool to see. Some pictures to go with that. You can see everybody in the classroom. Our care pathway, which also includes the patient care, always getting certified, so Stop the Bleed, CPR there, and these pictures, many of them are from our STEAM Expo, where people come in and just make appearances, and our students get to interact with industry over and over, which is what we want. Slover Mountain High School. Still, oh, yeah, all right, they're still here. We have 2 pathways at Slover Mountain High School, information, support, and services. I want to impress upon you, a lot of people think that Microsoft Office has gone away since we use Google mostly in education. It surely has not. Industry needs that, and they will hire people with certifications in those areas in a big way. So we still offer certification in those courses, and we have students who do very well in that program. That program is also at Colton High School as well. And then you saw a lot of pictures from our child development program at Slover Mountain High School and the amazing work that they're doing with not only the preschool or Head Start program that's at that site, but also with the students who are there and gaining certification through that. Paxton Patterson labs at all of our middle schools. We have our Paxton Patterson labs. They explore modules which are connected to the pathway programs at the high school that these middle schools feed into. So that's that idea of having that bridging happen from middle school to high school and allowing students to explore what their passion is and what their interests are. We also have this program at Washington High School, and it is very successful there as well. And they participated in our STEAM Expo just a month ago, and it was amazing to see them there. So again, all of these programs are aligned with our high schools and feed into those programs. Our STEAM exposition a month ago was extremely successful. We did have to move it 2 days before the event happened in a fairly tumultuous week during plenty of immigration raids and things like that. However, the community showed up. We had over 250 sign-ins from our own students, and then the tacos were served there, and the vendor who did that for us said that they served over 500 plates. So huge event that partnered with our science fair to bring all of these industries to us. And you can see in some of these pictures some of the industries that we don't necessarily have pathways for, but they do want to partner with us, right? 5-Star Barber is right there in the middle. JR over there has been great at bringing some of our students in who are interested in that work experience side of things. And I would be remiss not to mention our work experience program. We do have 2 work experience teachers who work within the school district. They're split in different cohorts, and they do bring that work experience program to our students in the school district. So plenty of career exploration that went on there, and CRIROP also showed up and supported us on that day, and Elena brought Buddy along with him. I think that was his first field trip, so it was a good time for that pup. Our internal internships, we brought these last summer, so summer of 2024, opened them up. We partnered with CRIROP, and we also had Tomorrow's Talent help us kind of frame what we wanted to do with these internal internship programs. We had about 14, 15 students participate in the internal internships. What you see on the slide are all of the divisions or departments within our school district that we brought interns into from our high schools. So it was an extremely successful program. I say that not only because I loved what happened there, but the folks who were involved in it also loved what happened. We couldn't pay them, unfortunately. However, they were paid through credit, right? So we gave work experience credit earned for the students who were a part of these programs. And I believe there's a video, so I'll stop talking and let the video roll. Should I advance the slide? Let's see.
We're excited to announce that we're bringing back our summer internships for the summer of the 24-25 school year. These internships are when our own high school students go out and work alongside our departments within our school district and build their skills to go out into the real workforce.
I heard about this opportunity by the CTE team coming into one of my classes and giving us a presentation on all of the different opportunities that we would have during an internship over the summer.
I got to work with a lot of cool people. I got mentored a lot in what facilities was because I was stationed in the facilities department. So I got to visit construction sites. I got to see what made facilities tick.
We were really fortunate to have Ryan to join us in our facility family. He just has a lot of the great qualities that we look for in a great employee.
For our directors to offer internships to the students means the world to our community. We want to be authentic about our care for our community, and what other way to prove that you care for the community than to bring their children into your department and show the professional jobs that we do in our school district.
I'll definitely recommend this summer internship because you get to work in a professional setting, you get to experience real life skills, and work with a team that helps you grow.
Yes, I would recommend this internship program to more students because it teaches you how to grow up. You learn to work, you learn to do your job, and you try to do it well.
I definitely would recommend this internship to future students just because it did open my eyes to new careers, and it did give me a fun way to spend my summer, and I got to experience things that I wouldn't have been able to without this internship.
I feel honored and privileged to play the role that I play in the district and to contribute to the building program and create a better environment for our students. And I thought this was a great opportunity to give back to the community and share some of the knowledge that I've gained over the years.
So again, we're going to be running these internships this summer. Last summer, we only opened them up to students who are going to be in that capstone course for their pathway, right? So it was open up to those juniors going into their senior year. We wanted to do that to test the waters and see what was going to happen with all of this, because honestly, it was an unknown quantity, right? We got overwhelmingly good support. I mean, I've never been a part of something in education that got more positive feedback than that program. So we're going to open it up this year to any of our 16 and older students who want to participate in that over the summer. And tomorrow we're going to have a meeting with some of the division leaders to see if people would be interested in taking on interns for this summer as well. We'll offer the same thing that we did last summer, which is that work experience credit for the students who participate in it. But it was just an amazing program, and as I said in the video, just a truly authentic way to show the community that what we do and how much we care about bringing students in. So that was my video, and I know that CRIROP also has a video celebrating CTE month, so introduce it. Let's see.
So happy CTE month again. So the video you're going to see is showcasing our students from this year and some of their programs, and it is narrated by one of our student ambassadors. So one of the things we're really proud of at CRIROP is not just preparing all students for colleges and careers, but we take those ones that are nominated by their teachers to be our student leaders every year that we call our student ambassadors. So they work around developing their leadership skills further outside of the classroom, and then they help us promote programs from everything from down to the middle school level to get those students excited for the high school pathways, to working with our board members and the district administrators, parents, and community members, getting them excited and giving them the knowledge about CTE as well. So that's what you'll see here in this video.
I think it's important to have hands-on experience because you should be prepared for lots of things out of high school. A lot of students don't know what they want to be in college. Me personally, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I joined welding because it seemed like something fun, something out of my comfort zone.
RFP has prepared me for my future career. It's because not only is the teachers really good mentors, but they also really give us a lot of knowledge. They really go in depth. We do hands-on in class.
ROP has prepared me for my future career by giving me hands-on experience in class and in my fields.
Thank you for letting us address you tonight. And there's our contact information. Also follow us on social media. We're CJUSD CTE on everything. Avelia takes care of that too. So she's definitely into that and wants more followers, right? So please do that. And any questions or feedback?
Questions, comments from board members? Great presentation. Yeah, fantastic.
I'll go first.
Member Ibarra, please.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank both of you for a wonderful presentation. I think that it's important for parents, community, students to know what we offer at each one of our sites and the excellence of the courses that we offer that can lead to potential careers down the road. You mentioned this earlier. We couldn't do this without CRIROP. CRIROP has been an excellent partner with Cone Joint Unified School District for years now. And the strength that they bring and the expertise that they bring in is excellent opportunities for our students to not only take a look at potential careers, but also get a feel for if there's areas that they may be interested in the future. I've seen it grow over the years where it gets to a point where a lot of parents ask me, you know, can they get regular units for this? And I remember when we made that effort to make it A through G requirement, and that was big because then a lot of our students who were college bound wanted to take some of our communication classes, wanted to take some of our welding classes, and they were able to do that because of the efforts of CRIROP and the staff there. So But as we take a look at, you know, I remember going way back where they used to have the old wood shop, the old, you know, that totally left. I still hear people in the community say, oh, it's a shame we don't have automotive. We do. And when I do share that, and I think some of my other colleagues, we share it very proudly because of the work that both of you do. And, you know, and what it means to our students and the opportunities and experiences that you bring. So, you know, I have for years highly recommend CRIROP, CTE courses to our students who are interested. And I could tell you, for the top of my head, I could think of several who have been very, very, very successful just because they took that opportunity and enrolled in these courses. So I just want to say thank you for your report. You know, I enjoy hearing it, and it's something that I think we need to continue sharing on a, you know, every year basis, Mr. Superintendent. And I think that the support that we need to give needs to continue to be given, you know, for as long as we can. So I think it's important for not only for the district, but mainly for our students. So thank you very much.
Other comments? Yep, Board Member Fuentes, please.
I think Mr. Ibarra kind of said everything. It's so important for our students to have that alternate education. Educación técnica profesional, I love that. I love seeing it in Spanish here too. But as part of the CRIROP board also, I'm one of the alternates on the board, and I've been on that board since I've been a board member here, 7 years. And there's a story prior to becoming a board member of a young man that was going through difficult times at Bloomington High. I won't mention names, but I remember this young man having to go through work development, the whole thing through CRIROP, and ended up getting a scholarship through CRIROP. And now is one of the, I don't know what to call him, I guess supervisor directors for the AutoZone warehouse. And because he loved to work on cars, mechanics and all of that, and he got that scholarship, got through certification and all of that. And now he's making 6 figures and doing very well. And so I know there's success stories in CTE, pathways, all of that. You know, as the board chair for the foundation, when we give those scholarships to those students, it's for them to move on and become successful. And like we do here at as we do here at CJUSD, is we want our students to succeed. We want them to have that career. We want them to live well. And that's what we do, and why we do it. And like they said, I think one of the slides in the DELAC presentation, it takes a village. And it takes a village for us to be able to bring these opportunities to our students. And our students have a lot of opportunities. We have 30 pathways throughout our district. And hopefully sooner or later we'll have more as we start to partnership with the carpenters, with the electric, the ironworks, all these different opportunities, construction, all of those things that are out there. I get excited. And, you know, when I saw the expo and we didn't fit in the multipurpose room there at Colton High School, I knew that we were doing something right. So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Melissa, Elena, the whole team, for what you do every day to make sure that our students succeed. And that's why we say CJUSD cares. Thank you.
My colleagues have said a lot, and I talk about CTE all the time because it's my colleagues and I and our board, we're very proud of what we do for our students and what we offer our students. It's just, I can't say enough about the opportunities that we're giving our students because they're tremendous. They're walking out of there, you know, knowing this is for me or this is not for me. And that's okay. Not everything is, it's a chance for them to try these possible occupations, and if it's not for them, then they can try something else. But at least they know, and they don't waste money going to college and getting a degree or going to a trade school and spending all that money, and they already know that, no, that wasn't for me, but I want to do this. So I'm it's just a program that, that what we offer is just, it's just amazing that the kids, what they're doing. Welding, I always say my father was a welder for 45 years and made a living at it, and a good living at it. And so I know that pathway for sure is amazing. I love walking in that classroom and seeing what these kids are doing. I mean, they're so articulate and they tell you about what they're working on. And that's the same all across the board at all of our high schools that are taking these classes. The kids are engaged in what they're doing. As you said, you don't see them sitting at a desk. They are engaged in what they're doing. And that's what we want. We want them to be engaged, because if they're engaged in that and they're learning things like, you know, I know in automotive, they're learning, why is math important? You know, because a lot of times they say, what am I going to use math for? You need that in automotive. You need it in other skills. And they're learning that. So it's keeping them engaged in their other classes as well. So I know my colleagues and I, we always are very proud to talk about CTE. So thank you for your presentation. And thank you, Melissa, for being here today. I'll see you at the next meeting, board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Haro. Please, Board Member Flores.
Okay. One thing that I noticed that these students have in common, these kids throughout the school day and when they do out and do presentations, they stand taller. They're confident. They're proud. They have a purpose. They're engaged. So there's so many positive things that come out of this to form their character and prepare them for life. I also noticed that they bond together as students, and it's just a recipe for success. I give you all the credit, Melissa and Paul, and I see Ken over there, hiding over there. So your team, your CTE team, all you care for our students, and you do everything possible to open doors. So thank you so much.
Thank you for the presentation. Loved it, particularly loved the internships internally. As I often say, we're preparing these students and we're trying to convince business owners and all the employers that are out there that they should hire our students. Well, then we should walk the walk, right? If we aren't willing to bring them in ourselves and expose them and give them those opportunities, then how can we really, in all earnest, say, hey, we think we have the best students that are ready for work, for education, for training today. So I love that piece of it. And yeah, we look forward to more opportunities to work hand in hand with you. So thank you. We appreciate it.
I just wanted to add, it is a wild thing to see what we do with it. So I just want to commend the board and all of the leadership in our district to be able to partner with ROP and a school district and the work experience and the work-based learning and all of those things that work together, right? I haven't seen that anywhere yet. I know that I'm young in this thing. I haven't been around very long in this job, but I go to other districts and I try to find that. You don't see it. You'll see, you know, one component of it really strong, either a strong ROP like CRIROP's there, but there's not a lot of the work experience or the work-based learning happening district-wide, or you'll see, you know, a focus on work experience and not the classroom necessarily. So it is an amazing thing to be a part of. And like I said earlier, you know, it's good for my view, right? I get it. I'm the surveyor. I come in and see it all, but man, I get to see it just built up and get to see what those kids are doing. Nevaeh was one of my former AVID students, so I'm taking that, yes, and just running with it. So I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to do this. Agreed.
Quick comment, if you don't mind. I shouldn't prolong you up there, Paul, but I just want to mention something to the school. I think it's important that you know this. Recently, I had Paul come with me to the Carpenters Union Training Center, incredible facility. And I'll tell you, we visited, we talked about relationship with them and bringing mentorship programs here. And I had to leave, but Paul stood there. I think you were there all day, and you made a great impression. So I just have to say that as our CT coordinator, he represents this district with integrity, and he's always thinking about our kids. So I just mentioned that. And of course, the relationship with CRIROP. But, it's incredible what the relationships, again, that we're doing with our folks around here. So anyways.
Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. All right, this takes us to the action session, action items for today's agenda. Do have a couple of items that we would like to pull for separate consideration. First one is item 5.6. That's an item that we'll have to take up for separate consideration regarding our CSBA delegates. But there's also a request for to pull 5.18 just for question and additional information from staff. So I'll pull that one as well. So any other items that board members wish to pull for separate consideration?
Just to make a comment on a few of them.
Okay.
As we take a look at 5.2, Art Education Month and Youth Art Month, and Music in Our School Month, Read Across America, Women History Month. We just want to make note of these excellent events that will be going on throughout our district. Also, just want to make note that Board Member Pat Harrow, to my left, has a lot to do with keeping our music programs, our science programs, our art programs going. And, I truly appreciate the efforts that she's made over the years to ensure that we have solid programs throughout our district. So just want to bring that up and make that mention that. So that's
right. Thank you. Absolutely.
I don't know, 5.18?
Yes, we are going to pull that one for separate.
Okay. 5.28.
5.28, great. Okay, we'll pull those. And thank you, Board Member Barr, for making note of those programs. Whenever we can celebrate the diversity of our district, the equity of our district, and the inclusiveness of our district, it's a good thing, right?
It is a very good
Excellent. All right, so what I'll ask for is a motion to approve our items 5.1 through 5.35 with the exception of 5.6, 5.18, and 5.28.
A motion.
Motion by Board Member Fuentes. Is there
second. Oh. Second.
Okay, second by Board Member Ibarra. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Any abstentions? Hearing none, those items are approved. So we'll go ahead and take the others that were pulled for separate consideration in order. The first one is item 5.6. This is our nominations for California School Boards Association Delegate Assembly. I'll first ask if there is a motion. Well, actually, let me lay this out because we do need to make some selections here. So there are 6 candidates for essentially 5 seats. So we as a board need to decide which 5, up to 5, we don't have to pick 5, but it's up to 5, that we would like to select as our candidates for the Colton Joint Unified School District. You'll note that the asterisk denotes who are the incumbents. And so I'll simply open it up now for...
I'll make an motion to accept it with the 5 incumbents.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Wonderful. I've got a motion by Board Member Haro, second by Board Member Fuentes to approve the incumbents, the 5 incumbents. All right. Any other questions or considerations there? If not, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it is so ordered. Thank you for that. And we will go ahead and submit that, Ms. Medina. Next in order is 5.18. Did ask that that be pulled, and I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve. If there is a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second by Board Member Fuentes. And I would like to turn it over to Mr. Fromm to give us a little bit more background. There was some questions about how this contract related to security service is different, separate and apart than our traditional Office of Security Services, the department that handles security on our campuses.
Yes, this is a requirement in the leases of tenants that rent in our buildings in the 850 and 900, and the cost is put into their lease. So the cost is paid by the renters of our buildings here in the 850 and 900 buildings. So there's no cost to the district at all for this. And it's to go around and just look over the open spaces during business time hours and that.
And just to clarify, this contract is exclusive only to these buildings. They will not be at any of our school sites or any of our other campuses.
Correct. As long as we have leases here outside of our district, this is a requirement. Once we occupy all these buildings, then they won't be here. We will have our own security patrolling here.
Mr. Frum, what are the business hours in these buildings?
7 to 5 p.m.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Yep, great. So we have a motion and a second to approve the item. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it is approved. All right, and our last item for separate consideration is item 5.28, approval of and adoption of resolution 2574 to non-reelect temporary certificated employees. Is there a motion for approval?
Go ahead.
I'll motion.
And I'll second.
Motion by Board Member Fuentes and second by Board Member Ibarra. Questions, comments? Board Member Haro? No, I don't have any questions. Okay, no questions. All right, we will go ahead and then take action on this item, item 5.28. We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any?
Myself.
Okay, and then no abstentions. So the item is approved with Board Member Haro dissenting. Okay, great. And that concludes our action items for this evening's meeting. So we'll jump into our administrative reports. Are there any questions with respect to item 6.1 or 6.2, our disbursements or approved change orders? All right. We do not have a facilities update this evening. So we'll jump into our ACE update. I do believe I saw Ms. Parachi here. Do we have no update tonight from ACE? All right. CSEA, Mr. Guadiana.
Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. Anthony Guadarrama, CSE Chapter President, Colton 244. Just a quick update on our transportation department. In September of 2024, I was approached by Assistant Superintendent Greg Fromm and the Director of Transportation, Jessica Kawahu, regarding a student that required specialized individual transportation that apparently we did not have the capacity for, and the student also needed to be transported to a non-public school in Laverne, which we were not able to accommodate. My team and I talked it over, and I was extremely hesitant because as long as I've been with the district, which is a little over 17 years, we have not had to contract out routes and have been able to handle everything in-house. Not only that, I am strongly against contracting out when we have not exhausted all other options. I voice these concerns along with the fact that, as the title of the book goes, you give a mouse a cookie, it's going to want some milk. I was assured that this was a one-time, unique situation. Against my own gut instinct, I agreed to an MOU that would allow for an outside company to transport this one particular student. Surprise, surprise, fast forward to mid to late November, and I'm notified by some transportation employees that there are more routes being contracted out. I notified Greg that we needed to meet, and during that meeting I was told there were 5 to 8 more routes, approximately 26 students, being contracted out, and according to Greg, we have to do what we have to do. This is not the response I was expecting because, as I've previously mentioned, I was assured that the one student we agreed to was a unique, one-off case. This is how trust is broken down, and this is how relationships begin to deteriorate. But I own this one. I went against my own better judgment, and I believed what I was told. But that's, look where we are now. And back in December, I presented an MOU to Greg Fromm and the Director of Transportation that would increase bus drivers and transportation assistants to a full 8 hours to address bus driver shortage. Last week, action item 6.26 was approved, which created a new classified position titled Bus Driver Trainee. And I'm kind of circling around where I'm going. I'm not sure if you were explaining what the plan was, but I had a lot of questions that initially went unanswered. The quick breakdown that I was eventually given went something like this. We're going to pay people that do not work for our district to get their bus driver certification and hope that they stay with our district when they are done. How is it that we can afford a program like this and pay the expensive cost of contracting out routes, but can't guarantee our own bus drivers and transportation assistants 8 hours when they're already working 8+ hours regularly? Why can't we invest in our own first? And then we wonder why morale begins to drop and attendance becomes an issue, working 8, 10, 12 hours, then having your routes contracted out, and paying non-district employees for a program that may or may not work. I have a semi-serious idea that I might be proposing in the future, just kicking it around, but I think whenever an assistant superintendent, director, supervisor, whoever it may be, begins contracting out work, their salary should reflect that reduction in work. Think about it, if 10% of the transportation routes are being contracted out, that's 10% less work that the assistant superintendent, director, or supervisor of that department is doing. As it stands now, the director is directing less routes, but making the same amount as before. Just food for thought. Another quick note about transportation, and this one has been talked about for the past few years with no follow-through. The metal shed over by Colton High School where buses and fleet vehicles are repaired, there's not adequate heating or air conditioning. In the winter, it gets freezing cold. And for those of you that do any type of mechanic work, how much fun is it to smack your knuckles when you're working with a wrench, especially when your hands are freezing cold. And in the summertime, that building can get over 130 degrees, both which subjects our mechanics to unsafe working conditions. And lastly, on a different note, CSE has started discussions with Dr. Miranda, Dr. Ortiz, and Dr. Dade regarding IEP translations, and we will keep you updated as these discussions progress. Thank you all and have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Guardiamo. Do we have a MAC date this evening?
Good evening, Board President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dr. Miranda, and members of the audience. Happy New Year from MAC. It's been a while since we've presented, but we wanted to make sure that our members and everyone is aware of some of the upcoming opportunities for professional development, engagement, and creating that culture of connection. Sorry. Next, oh, there we go. So we wanted to recognize and celebrate Black History Month, and we know a lot of our administrators and sites are currently celebrating, and there's great opportunities for our students to be engaged and connect to our cultures and diversity amongst our campuses. So we want to just give them kudos for those things that they're doing on their campuses, and we want to continue to see these things to support our students. In addition, we wanted to bring some attention to the AXA lunch break. There's a legislative lunch break that's featured each month for AXA. So some of our members may not be familiar with AXA, or they may not know that these updates are available for you on YouTube. They are recorded, so if you missed the lunch break, don't worry. They are recorded. You can check them out. This most recent recording pertained to DEI, and the last recording pertained to immigration. So they're very informative for our school leaders, and I highly encourage our leaders to listen. They sometimes take about 30 minutes, but it's great to hear from legal and different representatives that they have as guest speakers. There's an upcoming Women in Leadership networking opportunity on March 3rd from 5 to 7 at Sierra Lakes Golf Club. It is a $10 fee for those of you who are AXA members, a $15 fee for those who are non-members, but we highly encourage our Women in Leadership team members to please join, participate, learn and grow together. They're going to also have a learning and reflection with Dr. Trudy Arriaga, who will be presenting as well. And the link is there for you as a bit.ly. Also, wanted to share some information from CALSA. CALSA is a sister organization to AXA, so we want to highlight some of the opportunities that they have through CALSA as well. They are beginning their mentoring program. Cohort number 22 is now available if you're interested in joining the mentoring program. You'd like to get a mentor for your leadership growth. Those are available for you. There's a QR code so you can register, and it does show some of the information for upcoming information sessions. There's also a leadership circle that's going to be hosted soon, so we encourage our leadership members to join if you'd like. For those of you who are not familiar with CALSA, that's the California Association for Latino Superintendent and Administrators. So we'd love for you guys to join, and you don't have to be Latino, you can be an ally and join as well. I also would like to take some time to thank our board as well as our superintendent and cabinet for approving for me to present at the Apoderar conference for CALSA recently in San Francisco. It was a wonderful experience for me to continue learning and growing as a school leader, as well as sharing and highlighting the wonderful things that we're doing in Bruin Country at Bloomington High School. So my topic was on empowering campus branding and effective leadership for a future-ready culture. And so some of the things that you saw in the CTE videos, some of those backdrops and some of those murals are at Bloomington High School. And so we do have a strong focus on future and college-ready career readiness at Bloomington High School. And there's a lot of branding. If you've come onto our campus, you'll get a chance to see some of those things in the classrooms and outside of the classrooms on the walls. So thank you very much for your support. And I wanted to just close out with a wonderful picture that we recently took at our most recent principals meeting of all of our MAC members and administrators. This just goes to show you that we are a true team, and we continue to learn and grow together. It's a wonderful school site and district to work for, and we're just really thankful to have everybody be a part of our MAC membership. We will be wearing our MAC shirts at the next management meeting, so we want to encourage all our managers to wear their MAC shirts from last year, this year, and or previous years. Thank you very much for your time tonight. Have a wonderful evening.
Principal Ramon, that's a great presentation. Great job. ROP update. Do we have an ROP update?
I just want to, we didn't have a meeting in January, but we had one last week. And I know Melissa already talked about the veterinary program hosting their first visit with 2 dogs from handlers from the San Bernardino County DeVore Animal Shelter. And this is a new partnership for the veterinary class, and it's also going to help hopefully get more dogs adopted, or cats too. We have a student, a 2019 Bloomington High School graduate and former criminal justice student from Ms. Gourlay's class, and they have started in this March in the San Bernardino Sheriff's Academy. And then Slover Mountain High School students, they were yesterday at Community Cabinet showing us their garden box, and we were very proud to host them because it was really cool talking to them about their garden. And then we had Colton High School students competed in the Skills USA competition, and we're waiting for results. We'll hear that at the next meeting, I'm sure. And then GTHS is having their career fair that's taking place. And actually, I'm sorry, I apologize for that. They already had it. But great things are happening at CRIROP.
We also had our CRIROP Foundation meeting, and just a couple of things. We're going to be giving our students a little more money for their scholarships. So we're going from $200 to $250 for those students, and so we're going to be incrementing that. There'll be some new things coming to our Evening of Excellence that we do every year. Is it evening? Yeah, it's the Evening of Excellence. Yeah, Evening of Excellence. So we'll be doing some new things there and bringing some new things to the table. But we did have our CRIROP Foundation meeting, and if you'd like to support us, just look us up online, and there should be a donation button there. And we'd love for your donation. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that update. Next is our superintendent communique.
Thank you, Board President, board members, members of the audience here and out there virtually. Short communique this evening. I want to start off with the LCAP survey. Your voice matters. So district, as you note, is committed to ensuring the best possible support for our student success. That's part of our vision. So we need your feedback and your honest feedback. So please participate in the annual LCAP survey, which is open throughout February and will close on Friday, February 28th. So this survey, just to note, is confidential, and we deeply value honest and constructive feedback. We encourage students, parents, staff, and community members to take a few moments to share their thoughts. If you haven't taken the survey yet, please visit our website where you'll find a prompt to access the link. Let your voice be heard. All right. So All right, we talk a lot about Slover Mountain Continuation High School, and the proud principal and former proud principal are here this evening, so I'm glad Tiffany Hampton's here. Because Slover is a model school, and they're just were notified, and there's going to be a huge recognition. So again, it's with great pleasure that I announce that Slover Mountain High School has been recognized as a model continuation high school for 2025 by the State Superintendent, Tony Thurman. Can we have a round of applause? Come on. So, yeah, absolutely. The Model Continuation High School Recognition Program honors schools that provide exemplary educational programs and creates a resource list of successful programs for school visits. This recognition is a true testament to the dedication, innovation, AI stuff that's happening over there, and it's not stuff, but it's important work, commitment that the staff has at Slover Mountain High so that students reach their full potential. That's what we want. So congratulations, Adrina, and the team, of course. Just well-deserved recognition and achievement, and I know you guys are celebrating, so whatever we can do to support that. So, again, one more time for Slover. All right. Last slide, as noted earlier, we have Read Across America Day. I don't know if the date was stated, but it's March 2nd, and that is a very exciting day. So I'm excited to share that I get to go out and visit schools to read. A lot of you do that too. Get your favorite book. And it's so fun to read to all the students. So that's coming up. So thank you to all the schools that have invited, not just myself, but the board, cabinet, administrators for celebrating the love of reading. I love reading, and all of us love to read. So I'm really looking forward to engaging with students and helping foster this passion that they read that they have. Last year, I got a chance to go out there with ACE President, Ms. Parachi, and she read to students, did an incredible job. She's a former kindergarten teacher, so I couldn't beat that. I tried, but I couldn't beat that. Anyway, so looking forward to, and if Ms. Parachi, you want to come out again with me, let's go. And also invite over there CSA President, Mr. Anthony G. Guadarrama. I'd like to get out there and read to our students. It's a great day, honestly, to get out there and read to our kids. So it's an awesome day. Anyways, so that's my communique for this evening. And back to you, Board President.
All right, thank you for that, Dr. Miranda. We appreciate hearing the updates. And our next item is our board member comments. So we'll go ahead and start this evening with Board Member Fuentes.
Okay, that's different.
We're rotating, so keep it fair.
Hey. We had a great time at the community cabinet on Wednesday. If you weren't here, you missed out. I was here for the first hour and a half or so, and it was just amazing to see what our students are doing out there. We talked about wellness. We talked about our wellness rooms. We talked about our wellness department. Antonio Castro, our director, talked about the opportunities that wellness has for our students. And I've always been one of those that I want our students to be well when they're in school. I want them to feel safe. I want them to have, nutrition, food, all of that. And Dr. Miranda, I always tell them about, are our students going to be fed? Are our students going to be fed? Because I know that when our students don't eat or don't feel safe or they're not well, they're not going to do well, period. But when we have those opportunities, those wellness rooms, or somewhere where they can go, speak to somebody and just share their thoughts. And even I sometimes have to share my thoughts with somebody, because I think we all need to sometimes. And so I was so excited to be here for the community cabinet, the first half of it. And I'm very, very excited. And I'm going to end with one more comment here. Know that your children and every student on our campus will always be safe. If our managers, our SROs are here for a reason at an important meeting like a community cabinet meeting, they are here to learn about what's going on the campuses. We talked about wellness. Our managers, our SROs are here because they want to know what happens on campus, especially through our wellness rooms. the wellness opportunities. If our community cabinet is based on workability or work-based, activity, and some of our directors or managers from safety are here, they're here because they want to know what's going on. They want to understand what they can do in their positions. Know that your children and every student on any campus will always be safe. It doesn't matter if a director's here, a manager's here, your child is in the safest environment ever. I will put my hands in fire if I have to, but our children will always be safe. I'm a big advocate on nutrition also. I get out there and I want our kids to be fed, and that's why we have the programs that we have here at Colton Joint Unified School District. But please understand, sometimes we hear comments, we hear things, and if we don't do our due diligence, which is researching, finding out the truth, then sometimes comments will hurt instead of help. So understand that your children are in the safest place. We have the most awesome staff, teachers, you name it, custodial staff, nutrition staff, anybody. And I can tell you right now, they will fight for your child to be safe. Slover Mountain always says you can't spell Slover without love. And I can tell you that goes for every school in our district, from our adult school, from our preschool, kindergarten. Your children will always have that love, and they will always feel safe. And I can guarantee that because, like I said, I will put my hands in fire if I am not saying what is true. Know that your children will be safe. Sus hijos estarán seguros en nuestras escuelas del Distrito Escolar de Colton. Todos los días que ellos vienen a la escuela y están en la escuela, estarán en un lugar más seguro, porque nuestra meta es que sus hijos se sientan seguros y estén bien, porque la educación es lo primero que queremos que cada uno de sus hijos tenga. We want your children to have that education, and without having the safety, the nutrition, all that other stuff that goes with it, our key is to educate them because we want them to succeed, like we saw today in the presentation with CTE and CRIROP. We want them to succeed. I've had my daughters go through this district, and they're going to college. They're successful right now. My oldest daughter is a quality control supervisor for Amazon and going to Riverside City College. I'm proud of her, very proud of her. Sharon, the one that just graduated last year, she goes to Valley College. She's in the nursing program. So we want our children to succeed. I know Mr. Flores' children are growing up in this district. He is a product of this district. He's sitting here because he cares for his kids, and he cares for all those 19,000 plus kids that we have in our district. So please understand and know, it's a big passion of mine. I apologize if I got a little out of hand, but my passion is our students. And even though I don't have kids in the district anymore, I do. I have 90,000 kids that every day when I go to sleep, are they fine? Are they okay? Did they get the education they needed? Those are the things that go through my brain every day of my life. As long as I'm a board member here, and I can vouch for my colleagues here, we will fight for your kids no matter what. Thank you very much. Have a great night. I love you all. Thank you.
Board Member Fuentes. Board Member Bertha Flores.
This week, Dr. Peterson and I went to visit classrooms. We visited two sites at middle school, Ruto Harris Middle School and Lewis Elementary School. What I enjoyed and what's very helpful to me was we really focused in on what classrooms we were visiting. At Ruto, we visited every 7th grade and 8th grade math class. And so we were able to see the strategies that were consistent throughout those grades. And one thing that was very obvious was the strategies of building thinking classrooms. And if you haven't seen those in action, that's what we need to be doing for our kids to learn math language and math conversations. So it was very good to see that. At Lewis, we focused on early literacy strategies, and we visited every first and second grade classroom, and we observed what was going on in those classrooms. We saw what the strategies from University of Florida, from letters, and EL strategies. So I really appreciate the time that we spend in those classrooms, the principals making time to walk us around, and I'm looking forward to. I think we have one more at the end of this month. I'm looking forward to it. And Read Across America, invitations are coming in from different school sites. Please keep them coming because it's a big event for us, and I'm looking forward to coming to your school sites. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Board Member Flores. Board Member Ibarra.
Thank you, Dan. Earlier today, we had a couple issues that were brought to us, and I'd like to see if, through correspondence, if we can get some answers. First one was the fact that, as we all well know, it's nothing that's not out there. We know that there's concerns having to do with immigration and ICE. And I know that our parents, students are very, very concerned. And I know that we have things in place at each site. My question is how are we getting this across to the parents to know that their children are going to be safe? It's important for them to know that. Is it in our website? Last time I looked, there's nothing there. So the young lady who came up did make a valid concern, and we just want to make sure that we get an opportunity to reassure our families that Cone Joint Unified School District's prepared for this. So just want to see, in correspondence or however, how can we resolve that? Because if not, we're going to get more than one person next time. And it might add up, and we could, by being out in front of it, we can make sure that we, don't get people who are coming in concerned and so forth. And we need their students in school. And I'm not saying for the money, but we need them to come so they could learn. And that's our key focus. The second issue is that we just heard the concern of our CSEA president having to do with transportation. I would love to get in correspondence of the district's response to that concern. I don't know what goes on between discussions, but I don't like hearing that, bad faith. I don't like hearing things that, that are being said that puts our district in a position that, we renege on what we originally said. So I don't have answers. I can't say what exactly happened, but there definitely is a concern coming from CSEA, and I would like to be sure that the board is aware of the position of the Cone Joint Unified School District on this issue, because I think it's important for us, and for a variety of different reasons. So if we can get those things, and hopefully I could get the consensus of the board on those two issues, that I think it's important for us to at least be aware, because, we don't want to create any. We have good relations with both the unions. We want to continue doing that. So
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nodding, so Dr. Miranda, you'll ensure that we get that in the.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. Board Member Haro.
Thank you, Mr. Ibarra, for bringing up the concern that the parent brought up about the parents knowing about the immigration issue and what we're doing. I sat in on one of the meetings that Dr. Ortiz did, and I heard the meeting, but our parents were not involved in that meeting. And I don't know, because like you said, I'm not sure. I couldn't find it on the website, and I'm not saying it's not there, but I didn't see it. And I think something like that needs to be like, not hidden, like you got to click this to get to this, to get to this. It's something that needs to be in the forefront right now of what we're doing. Because when parents go to the website, they don't know to click all over the different pages. They want to, that's something that I know right now the homepage is about our arts initiative, and I'm grateful for that, don't get me wrong. However, this is something that parents need to be, easily accessible, that when they turn on the page, they're going to see that there, that we say CJUSD cares. This is a perfect example. Have it in English and in Spanish. What are we doing, or what are we legally doing that we can do to, so our parents know. And so thank you for bringing that up, because I was going to bring it up as well. I just wanted to let everybody know that this Saturday is an event at Bloomington High School, and this is the 4th year that it's being done. It's the Festival of Fairy Tales, and it started out as a very small event with not a whole lot of attendance, but it's grown, and there's singing, there's dancing, there's the costumes have gone from very mediocre to now like extravagant, and it's just a wonderful event. And for staff, if you have little ones, they love it. They do crafts, they do, you name it, they do it for the little ones, and it's quite an event now, and it's at 10 a.m. and then it's also again at 1 p.m. And I just wanted to, I told Ms. Richardson that I would to give a shout out to that event, because it's always a fun event. And my quote for this evening is by Mother Teresa. I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. But together we can do great things. Colton Joint Unified School District, we do great things. So thank you to all our staff.
Board Member Haro. And I don't have any comments tonight. I just want to thank everybody for being here, of course, and a lot was presented, and there's a lot of great things happening. There's even more things happening behind the scenes and future presentations. So thank you for that. We will go ahead and adjourn at this time into our closed session. jump to item 10.3. Adoption of resolution number 2572 to release and reassign certificated administrative employee. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Ibarra and seconded by Board Member Dan Flores, and on a 4-1 vote, the board took action to release an assistant principal and reassign him to a teaching position for the 2025-2026 school year. The board directed the superintendent or his designee to serve notice on the affected employee. The roll call vote was as follows. Board Member Dan Flores, Ibarra, Fuentes, and Bertha Flores voted aye. Board Member Haro voted no. Okay, great. And then item 10.4, on a motion by Board Member Fuentes and seconded by Board Member Bertha Flores, and carried on a 5-0 vote, the board approved the following: 1 classified management position, information services manager, 1 classified coach, head JV baseball boys, 4 volunteer coaches, band, baseball, track, and 25 volunteers. And that is all we have to report out from closed session. So we will adjourn our meeting.